And welcome inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison-Drini alongside my broadcast partner tonight, the coach Bill Harmon, Pat Garianis handling the production for us tonight, and Mike Lang and Joe Vitri up top of the press box. We've got a great one here tonight. It's the St. Mark Spartans trying to rebound after a tough week last week that we'll talk about in just a little bit. And they're taking on the visiting Newark Yellow Jackets, a young and upcoming program led by head coach Jody Russell. I welcome in now the coach Bill Harmon. Coach, how you doing on this Friday night? And should be a good one in front of us here at St. Mark's.
Nick, it's great to be here with you and the team. Always exciting to come over to St. Mark's, especially on a Friday night. They do a terrific job here with the logistics, setting this place up. It's a wonderful setting for a high school football game on a Friday night. I do want to say as we start this program, my thoughts are out there with Matt Smith, the athletic director here at St. Mark's. He's going through some health issues, but we've heard good reports, and he's doing well, and we just want to wish him the very, very best.
Absolutely could not agree more with you, Coach. Again, keeping Matt Smith in our prayers. And a little under 8 minutes before we get underway here at St. Mark's High School, it's the Spartans taking on the Yellow Jackets from Newark, as we alluded to a little bit earlier. And Coach, St. Mark's off to a pretty good start this season, had the lead going into the fourth quarter last week against Woodbridge. The Blue Raiders and head coach Marvin Dorley able to storm back and get the win there, 30-22. But the Spartans look good, and they're looking to rebound here tonight, but they're without a few of their key players here as well.
Yes, they are. Joey Wright and his staff, and he really does have a marvelous staff, have done a great job of getting this program continuing on from the John Wilson era and really propelling it. They've got a very deep roster. They are young. Their offensive and defensive lines are really the forefront of their program. They are very physical. They run to the ball well. They've got an outstanding young quarterback that we'll talk about. But this is a really well-coached team. They play well at home. Coming off that tough loss to Woodbridge, I know the competitiveness of the staff, and they have this team ready. I talked to one of their lead assistants, veteran Ron Smith, this afternoon, and he said they had a great week of practice, and they're ready to go against a very formidable opponent that knows them well.
And that's the Newark Yellow Jackets. Again, new head coach Jody Russell this year for Newark. And they got off to their season the way they wanted to back in early September in the big win over Christiana on the road, 34-6. And then a tough one last weekend against Concord, who has been a pretty good team this year as well. And now Newark looking to rebound tonight at St. Mark's, the same as St. Mark's is. So both teams looking to rebound after tough losses last week. And Newark, Coach, we talked a little bit about before we went on the air, a young team this year for the Yellow Jackets.
Yes, they are, Nick. Only 6 seniors, but a roster just loaded with juniors and sophomores. Jody Russell and his staff, and he's got a good staff too. Darren Brody calls the plays. Tyron Rice helps run the defense. He has done a good job of continuing his staff. They have great continuity. They have done a great job with their weight room in the summer. They've gotten a great attendance down there. They're really building this program up, and I know Jody Russell, who has a lot of experience, played at Newark, played at Delaware. He's going to do a fabulous job. They are loaded with youth. They'll make some mistakes from time to time. Their offensive and defensive line are sophomores and juniors, and their skill is very young. So this is an up-and-coming group. They've got great speed out on the perimeter. They have the possibility of breaking a big play at any moment. It'll be a question whether they can handle that front 4, that front 6 for St. Mark's when they're on defense and offense, respectively.
Absolutely. Again, both of these programs were maybe the premier programs not that long ago here in the state of Delaware, battling back and forth for state championships. And here we are, both teams back on the rise here in 2021. And Coach, just as one of a few games we have here tonight in the first state of Delaware, one just wrapping up, and 2 teams that me and you both know pretty well. That's St. George's and Sally's, and what a game that was. The Hawks get the win 21-14 over Salesiana.
And they're bouncing back off of a tough game last week, but they've got all their people back. Lee Sibley, the defensive coordinator, really had a great game plan together to stop an old friend and coaching colleague, Scott Cook, who's now the OC at Salesiana. It was a real battle there. John Wilson and his team had a really wonderful week of practice. Anytime you can go into Sally's, and you and I have done their game, I think they have really good personnel. That's an outstanding victory for St. George's. Not necessarily surprising in the fact that I know St. George's is very good, but Salesianum coming in undefeated and playing at a high level. And Salesianum will get their team going in the right direction after this week, but a great win from the downstate rival St. George's this afternoon. I think they played that at 4 o'clock, an early afternoon tilt. St. George's was obviously ready to go.
Yeah, how about that? Some reschedulings and different start times this fall for football here in the state of Delaware. Some other matchups on tap for tonight. Dickinson will be playing Charter School of Wilmington. That game currently underway right now. Lake Forest and Delcastle. Middletown and Appo kick off just 5 minutes away there at Middletown High School. And Milford and Delamar, that game has been postponed along with Brandywine Indian River. That game has been canceled outright. So 2 movements here tonight. And again, if we hear anything else on those, we'll get you the news there. Polytech and Seaford kickoff set for 7. Sussex Tech and Woodbridge, a good downstate game here today. And Odessa and First State Military set for 7:30. And then another good one at 7:30 between Red Lion and Caravel Academy. So a nice slate of games here tonight. Again, 1 canceled and 1 postponed. And Coach, we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Coin toss is about to get underway, but we're going to take our first.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
We all know that choosing the right company for home preservation can be challenging. Your home is your castle, and only the best and most trusted will work, right? Of course. So why is Ace Handyman Services different and the right choice? We take great pride in our easy, no-hassle scheduling and communication process. You call, we answer, and we listen. Or take advantage of online booking 24/7. Once we understand your home needs, we schedule a craftsman to arrive at a convenient time for you. You then receive a pre-call the night before from your craftsman. On my way text notification so you know when to expect your craftsman to arrive. Regular updates on the progress of your job. Even follow-up prior to any warranty expiration dates. Easy, convenient, no surprises, ever. Our commitment is to treat your home, your family, your time, and your privacy with respect. Rest assured, you are always our top priority. Our multi-skilled craftsmen will complete the work on your home in a workmanlike manner. If we don't, we'll come back to make it right. It's what we do and have been since 1998. Simply put, we're different. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon.
High school athletics is not what it used to be. The sporting goods industry has been disrupted, adding to coach and athletic director daily challenges. BSN Sports stands ready to change the fundamentals of our industry. giving our customers the advantages they need right now. Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Get the look of D1 colleges and pro teams with our program that streamlines ordering your staff apparel, player gear, and fan wear. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and ready in minutes. Our campus branding products are perfect for boosting school and team pride. BSN Sports has the advantages you need right now.
Whether you're planning to buy a home in 3 months, 6 months, or even a year, let me walk you through the process from start to finish and get your questions answered. I'm a DHSA lender with down payment assistance programs or grant money. I can help those with less than perfect credit or those working on their credit. I'm also local and always have been. So call 302-563-5599 or visit briansloans.com when you are ready to get started on your road to homeownership.
Hi, it's Scott and Lauren from Sodell Concepts.
And today we're at Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Catch 54 is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine overlooking the bay. House favorites include signature crab cakes, shrimp and grits, our famous...
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alcedrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon, Pat Garianis, Mike Lang, Joe Fedri on hand here at the Graveyard at St. Mark's and Newark. Just moments away from getting underway here at St. Mark's. I bring back in the coach Bill Harmon. Coach, should be a good one here tonight, and it looks as if, though, St. Mark's will be receiving the football.
Well, St. Mark's runs a very diversified attack. Joey Wright, who played here at St. Mark's and then played quarterback up at Westchester, has really done a nice job of combining some of his old line offense with some of the spread offense. They use a lot of bootlegs. They are very effective in their pass blocking. They've got a really solid running attack, but he's an excellent play caller, and he is really difficult to defend against. Newark, on the other hand, will play some 3-4 and some 4-3. They show some different looks in the back end. They may play some man and some zone, but look for them at times to try to pressure the young quarterback Panalano.
And back to return for the Spartans will be number 5, John Burns, the senior, and the sophomore, number 33, Taj Johnson. And we are underway here Friday night at the Graveyard between St. Mark's and the Newark Yellow Jackets. Returned by Burns, has some room at the 40-45, almost out to midfield. And great field position to get the opening drive started for the Spartans.
Jack Burns, one of the captains, is also a very fine athlete, a baseball player, a pitcher in Matt Smith's program. I really like Burns. He is an electric type of runner. He's always looking to puncture, looking to make the big play, but he's really come along in his career and has improved quite a bit in these last 2 years.
And again, St. Mark's without the sophomore number 15, Logan Klein, had a big touchdown catch in last week's game against Woodbridge. As the Spartans take the field, and we're set for first down at midfield on our opening drive.
St. Mark's will also run a number of formations. They do a nice job with personnel groupings. Look for number 1, Jabri White, to be a big threat down the field.
Motion here for the Spartans on first down. They'll keep a tight turn and give to Artis up the middle, and Newark with a good job there, able to wrap him up after a few yards on the first down carry.
They run a twist motion scheme with one of their H-backs. They had a double wing, and a really nice play there by Shamir Rollins, only a sophomore, one of those young players on the front 7 that Jody Russell's employed. He'll play a 4-man front with 3 linebackers behind, and then sometimes he shifts to more of a 3-4. But a nice start here for Newark, just to have some confidence, tackle the runner early on in the possession.
Second and about 8. That carry gets the Spartans into Newark territory. Second and 8 from the 48. We'll have slot to the right now, I formation for St. Mark's. Padalano will turn, play action to Artis. Going to look down the field, has a few receivers to choose from. Going to head deep down the sideline as his man, and that's going to be caught and almost into the end zone. And they're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. I believe that was Jack Burns down the sideline.
It was Jack Burns. We already talked about him. They ran a little switch route on the boundary side. They had a slot over there. Jabri White runs inside. Burns comes off his hip to the outside. A wonderful throw with excellent protection by the sophomore Panalano.
A gain of about 45 yards. First and goal upcoming now for the Spartans at around the 3 or 4 yard line. 10:46 and ticking here in our opening quarter as the Spartans looking to strike first. Padalano under center, I formation once again. Artis deep in the backfield. They'll turn, give it to him up the middle, and he's in easy. Touchdown, St. Mark's. Only took a minute and a half. A 3-play, 50-yard drive capped off there on the 3-yard carry by Artis.
Good call by Joe Wright and his offensive staff. Anytime you can run behind the left tackle, Luke Watson, that's a really good idea. They run a little counter trap back to that side. Watson down blocking a massive hole for Artis, who's a really good runner. Rebounded last year after a foot injury that kept him out of the end of the football season as well as the entire basketball season. Looks like he's back healthy. That's a great start for St. Mark's offense.
Yeah, you mentioned on the opening down carry, Newark able to hold him to a few yards on that one. The play action on the next play, deep down the sideline to Jack Burns. And then the Artis touchdown extra point is up and good. And just like that, a minute and 29 seconds into our opening quarter, the Spartans on top 7-0.
When you have a throw by Panalano to a wheel route or a switch route, which is just breaking outside of an inside breaking receiver, you've got to have great communication in the back end. And what happens a lot is a young team, especially a young cornerback, might start to jump the in-breaking route by the outside receiver. And if he does that, that's going to either force the safety to work over the top much too quickly and it'll be too late, or they try to exchange. And that time the corner drifted in with the in-breaking route, left Burns open. And a wonderful throw there. What I liked was Panalano did not panic. He allowed the route to develop and had a wonderful throw down the sideline.
So the Spartans quickly put 7 on the board here at home. Again, looking to rebound. They did so quickly already, forgetting that loss to Woodbridge last week and capitalizing on their opening drive here on Friday night. They'll kick it away now to the Yellow Jackets. Back to receive number 21, Marquis Ellerby, and he's going to let it take a hop off his knees, and he's going to corral it at the 1. Going to take it out anyway, looking to get to the 20, breaks a tackle, and just got to about the 23-yard line, so that's when we'll get our first look at the Yellow Jackets.
Unfortunately, one of the cardinal sins of a kickoff returner is to allow the ball to bounce. The reason you don't want to do that is so when you catch it in the deep kickoff inside the 10, you can build up your momentum and get a much better vertical attack. That slowed it down. Good coverage by St. Mark's. We're going to see spread offense here also from Darren Brody, the offensive coordinator, and Jody Russell. We'll see a lot of doubles, trips. There'll be some motions. Don't be surprised to talk about some empty as well, Nick.
And that's the quarterback, Damian Wright, and he's got trips to his right. Running back in the pistol sitting behind him. He'll take the snap out of the gun. Going to look right, going to fake it, and now launch it to the sideline, looking for Ellerby. And that ball tipped just out of his hands there by number 33, Taj Johnson.
Well, Johnson is a late transfer from the St. George program, and he is a really good cover corner. He has excellent anticipation. He has good speed. He also has very good recovery speed. He almost broke underneath that a little too early. A wonderful throw there by the quarterback who was able to step into a long ball. They will take shots down the field, and then they'll work back underneath. They also love to screen in 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
2nd and 10 now for Newark at around the 23-yard line. Motion here, and then some whistles as Wright again sat in the shotgun, and we'll wait and see what the official call is. Going to be a false start against the Yellow Jackets, so that'll back them up 5.
I like this Damian Wright. He's a junior. He played last year, but not at quarterback. He was used defensively as a defensive back, and they've made the change. He's adapted very well to this offense. It's not an easy offense to learn. There are a lot of different personnel groupings, a lot of different formations, and thus a lot of plays to learn. So he's doing a nice job here early on in the season, kind of engulfing and taking on this very complicated offense of Newark High School.
So he'll sit in the shotgun here on 2nd and 15. looking for somewhere to go with it. Has his man out in the flat. That's Jaden Smith. He's going to get a nice stiff arm, but nowhere to run for him after the catch. Good job by the Spartans to gang tackle.
One thing that St. Mark's has done historically is run to the football as well as any team in the state. And that's been continued with this new staff after the John Wilson staff. Joey Wright brought in his own people, a few holdovers, John Crumlish and Ron Smith and Will Poza. But they have continued to do that, and that makes them really good out on the perimeter. They get in position, and then they have a lot of hats around the ball once it's caught or run out there. So look for St. Mark's to continue that really fine defensive play.
Defense now setting him up with a 3rd and about 15 for the Yellow Jackets. Right out in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks, fires, looking for Jaden Smith. That ball's intercepted. Picked off by the Spartans and returned a few yards there, but a nice interception by number 4, Wes Millman on the interception.
Millman was sitting right in the middle of the field. He read the quarterback's eyes. He stepped right in front. I like the fact that early on, Newark was getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands very quickly. That negates the pass rush. Luke Watson coming in with a great rip and run move to the right side. But exited quickly, but unfortunately that time Millman read the quarterback's vision and stepped right in front for a terrific interception to give St. Mark's some excellent field position.
And it looks as though the Spartans got a turnover plaque there on the sideline. You see Millman holding it up after the turnover and the interception. Spartan offense back out on the field now. With, I believe, a 1st and 10 opportunity. It might be 1st and goal, excuse me. And we have a whistle, and I believe Coach Wright wants to take a timeout and talk this one over.
Well, he didn't have the right personnel on the field. They were going to go 2-by-2. And he had to run in a split into the weak side. And I think it's a wise decision. Hey, you've just got great field position. Your offense is playing well. Use the timeout here to get organized and try to get on top by 2 scores early on. A smart play by the veteran coach.
9:19 remaining here in our opening quarter of action. 7-0 Spartans. A 3-play, 50-yard drive capped off by Donovan Artis. 4-yard touchdown run. And he's had a phenomenal start to his season. And again, St. Mark's coming in ranked in the top 5 of our Delaware Live Sports Class 2 rankings. As the offense for Newark set to get back on the field, and we're set to resume play here in the first quarter. Padalano under center on 1st down. Deep motion, they'll turn and toss it to him. And he's got some room to run, and he's into the end zone. The Spartans' 2nd touchdown of the night. This time it's Taj Johnson who caught the toss and took it the rest of the way. And St. Mark's offense very efficient and looking good here early.
They had Taj Johnson split to the right in the slot. He comes in halo motion. That's deep motion behind the single running back. It's almost like a really deep speed sweep because he's going full speed. A great toss there from Padalano, the quarterback. Some excellent blocking out on the perimeter. St. Mark's always known for their wide receivers to be outstanding stalk blockers.
13-0 awaiting another extra point attempt here from Jeremy Shannon, the junior. And it's up and good. 14-0 here early. And we're going to take a short break, and we come back for more first quarter action live from the Graveyard. The Spartans up 14.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison Jr. alongside Bill Harmon and Pat Garianis here at the Graveyard. St. Mark's, they've run about 6 offensive plays. They've got 2 touchdowns. They lead 14-0 and are set to kick off here with 9:12 remaining in the opening quarter. Ellerby going to run after this one, catch it at the 15, looking for some blockers. Had a few on the outside, but unable to get to the edge. He's brought down a little after the 20-yard line, and that's where the Yellow Jackets will begin their second drive. And first one ended in the Millman interception.
think it's going to be important here for the offensive play caller, Darren Brody and Jody Russell, to slow down and settle down this quarterback. Have him bounce back, maybe run the ball to see if they can't get into a little bit more fluidity. Take some quick shots, get it out of his hand, because that offensive line is going to be really stressed by this pass rush that St. Mark's can employ. Quick throws into open voids.
We'll see what they do here on 1st down and 10. Again, they'll put Wright back in the shotgun, 2 backs in motion for Towson out to the left. It's a direct snap and power to the right side, but nowhere to run for the Yellow Jackets on 1st down.
The same Wright took the direct snap. He was in a 2-back look with him. He runs the ball to the left, just nowhere to go. Luke Watson setting a nice edge from his defensive end position.
And when we had St. Mark's on Delaware Live Weekly a few weeks back before the matchup with Red Lion, they emphasized the strength of their line, both defensively and offensively, and how they can win most of their matchups in the trenches. But dealing with some injuries here in these last few weeks. Next man up mentality, according to head coach Joey Wright. They're going to hand this one off up the middle, and again, good push up front by the Spartans.
Well, a smart call there. They run a little delay, a draw play to the left, but unfortunately the right side of St. Mark's defensive line just did not react. They were on the line of scrimmage, so the draw didn't work. When you run a draw, you're hoping to get, or at least invite those pass rushers up the field so your man running the ball is able to work himself into a seam and get some yardage. But that time well diagnosed by the right side of the defensive line.
3rd and 6 now coming for the Yellow Jackets. And they'll line up in again once more. Damian Wright awaiting the snap. He'll take the snap, drops back, looking to throw to his right side. Looking for Jaden Smith, lofted up there. He went up and got it. And that's going to be close to 1st down yardage about the 31. Have to wait and see the measurement here or what the officials decide to go with, but that's close.
Well, Jaden Smith ran a nice little out-breaking route. He got some separation, a nice throw delivered by the quarterback, Damian Wright, and then a nice close. Allowed Wright to step up into the throw. That's really the first time he's felt comfortable back there other than the interception, which he just had bad vision on.
First time they'll hand it up off the middle, but nowhere to run. Great penetration up front and a big-time play. I believe it was number 52 for the Spartans, Vaughn Highland, but a few Spartans in there on that play. And he had a fantastic game last week as well.
Vaughn Highland is really tough, takes up a lot of space. He's a true 2-gapper, a senior. Their linebackers can flow because when you have players like Watson and Highland and O'Donohue on the line of scrimmage, they almost occupy a blocker and a half every time, and that allows those linebackers to flow. But a really nice play there by Highland to insert himself into the front side A-gap.
2nd down and about 11 now for Wright. He'll drop back out of the shotgun, look to his left, has his man at the 37-yard line, and another 1st down for the Yellow Jackets. That was number 2, Jaden Smith again, and him and quarterback Damian Wright finding some chemistry here early.
Well, Smith runs nice patterns. That was a slant from the left side. That's a quick breaking 3-4 step route where he turns in. He got the safety on his back and a well-delivered throw there by Wright, who has impressed me early on. Outside the interception, which they read his eyes, he's been on target and now getting a little bit more time.
Under 6 minutes to play here, 14-0 St. Mark's leads. A new set of downs at the 43 for Newark. This time they'll go double slot with the back sitting behind Wright. They'll turn and give it straight up the middle. And he's going to pick up a few yards there on 1st down, but not much running room.
Well, we talked about those linebackers flowing. That was Matt Hanisch, a junior, who's able to work along the line of scrimmage. He's a very fine tackler. He brings a lot of energy to this St. Mark's defense.
So that'll bring up 2nd and about 8, 2-yard gain on 1st down, and the 1st down carry for DeJour White. And the Spartans, again, offense looked good on their first couple drives, putting the pressure on Newark early here at home. And now
probably going to be delay a game.
Yeah.
I applaud the fact that Jody Russell wants to shorten the game up, try to use as much of the play clock as you can. But unfortunately, your quarterback's got to be able to take a look into the back end, and the back judge will be moving his hand. At that point, you either bail him out with a timeout from the sideline, or you rush your count, or what happened is you take the delay of game.
That's what they do there. Back them up 5, 2nd and 13 now. Have to get to the Spartan 48. More motion here for Wright. He'll take the snap, play action, looking for somewhere to go. Has his man again. That's Jaden Smith. This ball called at about the 46-yard line. Pick up of about 5 or 6 there on 2nd down, and now that'll set up at least 3rd and manageable for the Yellow Jackets.
Impressed with Damian Wright early on. As I mentioned, his first year quarterbacking, a junior, stood in there. He took a hit from Hanish, who was on an interior blitz, trying to get some pressure. And they've also made a nice little move. They flipped sides with Luke Watson and O'Donohue. Now they're actually going back to their other sides now, but they're playing some different games up front. They'll have some studs, but they do love to insert their backers. Hanish, a very good pass rusher from the inside, got pressure, but Wright was able to step into his throw, and another completion to Jaden Smith. Great simpatico between those two.
So here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Yellow Jackets, close to midfield, as they trail by 2 scores and some more whistles. And I believe we have a timeout on the field, so Coach Joey Russell wants to talk this one over. So the delay of game penalty, then a timeout from Newark. Clock stopped with 3:49 here in our opening quarter. Again, the Spartans leading 14-0. Taj Gibson took one in on the ground, as well as Donovan Artis. And that's our score here as we're late into our opening quarter.
Well, I think that time Jody Russell heard us, and they bailed outright. The play clock was winding down. Jody Russell, the veteran, saw it. He wanted to be sure he didn't put his offense in a 3rd and 10 predicament. A smart play. I think too many times, especially in high school, timeouts are retained, and sometimes you don't even use them. This is a big play in the game. If they can get another first down, they keep their defense off the field. They put a little bit more pressure on St. Mark's. They expend some more of the clock. So it really plays in. And I wouldn't even be surprised if this gets to be 4th and short, that this wouldn't be 4-down territory for Newark. I would advise it. I think when you're the underdog on the road and you find yourself down early, you take some chances. And I have a feeling the math might even prove that out.
3rd and 6 from their own 47, right back in the shotgun. He's got Jaden Smith to his right. He's got Townsend, Williams, Boyd, and Ellerby to his left. He'll take the snap. Here he goes. Going to take a shot down the field. Double coverage on Jaden Smith. Ball's up in the air, and they are going to throw a flag at the 20. As Wright gave his man a shot to make the catch, and the coverage downfield, maybe some extra contact.
Well, I think they might get Wesley Millman with the penalty. He was the safety coming over the top, giving Taj Johnson a little bit of help out there. Was thrown into double coverage. But again, take some shots down the field, try to stretch St. Mark's vertically, and then work the underneath routes as he had been doing with Smith. So a nice strategy here early on by Newark.
So again, a 15-yard penalty for the Yellow Jackets, and not a spot foul here for the Yellow Jackets, and they're into St. Mark's territory. 3:42 remaining, 1st and 10 now at the Spartan 39. Wright will take the snap, designed quarterback draw up the middle, and I believe the ball came loose there at the end. We'll wait and see. Spartans are saying they have it.
I think the ground caused the fumble there. Wright with the lead blocker. That's more of a quarterback power up the middle than it was a draw play. But I was impressed. Wright kept his pad level low. As he hit the ground, the ball came out. But be smart for Newark to get Wright involved, not only in the pass game, obviously, as the quarterback, but the run game as well. He's a tough runner, finishes well, and he's got excellent speed.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain on 1st down. As Damian Wright once again sits in the shotgun. Smith will go in motion, trips to the right. They'll turn, a hand up off the middle to DeJour White. And nowhere to run. He's stuffed at about the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
They run an inside zone play, but there wasn't much deception to it, and I've really been impressed early on with the junior Matt Hanish. He has been everywhere making plays. He is a tough customer, a good tackler. That was a textbook tackle by the junior.
And you hear the crowd get into it here on 3rd down. 3rd and about 6 for the Yellow Jackets in Spartan territory at the 35. They'll go trips to the left, one receiver to the right. and one back behind Wright. He'll turn, he's looking left, going to fire across the middle, has his man for first down yardage, and a new set of downs once again for Newark. The ball caught that time by number 87, Wilkington Sannon.
Well, Sannon ran a little turn-in route just at the stakes or close to it. I love the call there. Again, trying to protect Wright, the quarterback, with quick exits, short patterns, quick throws. There was excellent pressure there by the right side, the entire right side of St. Mark's defensive line. But Wright's able to get the ball out of his hands and understanding where his receivers are going to sit down into the voids of the defense.
New set of downs again for the Yellow Jackets. They'll turn now, try some trickery as they'll hand it around the back to Marquis Ellerby, who breaks a tackle. He's at the 10, the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. A great play call by head coach Jody Russell and the Newark Yellow Jackets, and they get on the board here with 1:37 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, how about Ellerby? He's kind of known for his defense, but that time on the reverse, coming left to right, he got a great block downfield by the wide receiver. Uses excellent speed. I think the fact that they got their run game going in this drive, even though they weren't yielding big plays, the quarterback runs up the middle, the other probes, beginning to compact and compress that St. Mark's defense and keeping those linebackers at home inside. Then they hit him with the reverse. That was a very well scripted out drive by the offensive staff in Newark.
And now the Yellow Jackets lining up to go for two, right in the shotgun, and DeJour White sits behind him. He'll take the snap, going to look to throw once more. Now going to tuck it, try to run, loft it up in the end zone, take a chance, and that ball is batted down. So the conversion no good, and 14-6 is our score with 1:37 left in the first quarter. But a big drive there, Coach, like you talked about earlier, get that confidence up for Newark as they were trailing 14-0 early.
You get the run game going. You shorten the game a little bit by running the ball. You give your defense a breather. You mix up some interior runs with some zone passing, hitting the voids in the zone, and then run the reverse. Excellent. That was just a really well schematically drawn up drive for Newark to keep St. Mark's off balance. And the key was they kept those interior linebackers at home. St. Mark's playing a 4-2-5, or it's probably to some a 4-3, but that outside linebacker is a hybrid. So they're trying to drop 5 into coverage, and I would tell you this, I think Newark's receivers have done a nice job of reading the openings in the zone, and Wright has done a nice job of exploiting them.
And, Coach, you talked a little bit about the junior Damian Wright earlier. You said you like what he saw. An impressive opening quarter for the quarterback from Newark. Took him down the field and then able to get the pass interference being the highlight of that last drive, keeping it going on third down and allowing Newark to punch it in. So here we go. Newark set to kick it away, and that's going to wind up right in the hands of the Spartans. And number 7, that's Matthew Hannock, who we talked about earlier, having a great game on defense. And now we'll get another look at the Spartans' offense here as our first quarter winds down.
Well, Hannock did a wonderful job there. He was the fullback, the middle player on that. He usually sets the wedge or the kick-out block, but the kick was low and came right to him and did exactly what he should do. Just try to migrate your way up the field directly, and did a nice job giving St. Mark's, again, a good field position after the kickoff return.
So, Coach, we'll get our third look at the Spartans' offense. They've been very efficient here early and putting 2 touchdowns on the board in the opening quarter. We'll see if they can have similar success here on this drive. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Padalano, he sits in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. They're going to roll him out right, looking for somewhere to go. Has some nice blocking. He'll step back in, fired anyway, and off the hands of his intended receiver near the sideline.
St. Mark's used a pro trips look into the boundary. That means they have a tight end and then 2 flankers. They had Jabri White, their outstanding wide receiver, isolated out here to basically the wide side of the field, but they rolled away from the wide side into the boundary. Not much room there for Padalano to work, and that caused the incompletion. But good coverage down the field. Look for Jabri White to draw some double teams from Newark's secondary.
2nd and 10 now for the Spartans. Jabri White split wide to the right. Jack Bourbon split wide to the left in an I formation for Artis. This time they're going to turn and give it right up the middle to the fullback, and that is Hannock, and he's going to have first down yardage and more. Picks up about 15 on that carry on 2nd down.
When you get those defensive tackles stepping outside, either to get into their pass rush or try to create penetration, the guard trap is an ideal play, and Hannes runs that extremely well. He hits it vertically. He looks to cut. Just nobody there, and the tackle's ability to get down on the linebackers allows extra yardage. A nice run there by the junior.
Under 40 seconds, a ticking here in first quarter action, a 14-6 lead for the Spartans here at home over the Yellow Jackets. Offense going back to work here for St. Mark's, back into Yellow Jacket territory at the Newark 43. Padalano will turn, give to Hannick one more time here, breaks a few tackles before he's brought down by number 15 in White, DeJour White, the linebacker.
An old school but unbelievably underrated formation is what we call flanks. That's with 2 tight ends, 2 flankers, single back. What that makes the defense do is be balanced, and a lot of defenses don't like to be balanced. You get some really nice isolation blocks, some good angles, and that's really a great formational concept that Joey Wright and his offensive staff are employing here.
Well, after one quarter of action here at the Graveyard, St. Mark's the 14-6 lead here at home over the Newark Yellow Jackets. We're going to take a break, and we come back. Second quarter action. St. Mark's has it in Newark territory right here on Delaware Live Sports.
At Ferris Home Improvements, your family
can expect health-screened craftsmen who wear gloves and face masks and follow minimum 6-foot distancing, virtual conferences to discuss project details, job quotes delivered electronically or brought to your door for your review and approval, and our showrooms in Newark and Rehoboth Beach remain open for limited appointments.
We're here together.
Operating with precautions.
To protect our staff.
And our customers.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison, Journey, the coach, Bill Harmon, Pat Garianis here at the Graveyard, St. Mark's and Newark. A 14-6 lead for the Spartans, who were able to score 2 touchdowns on the ground in the first quarter. Taj Johnson and Donovan Artis. And then Newark able to capitalize and reverse to Ellerby, who took it in on the ground for the Yellow Jackets. So that's where we are, 14-6. St. Mark's driving back into Newark territory, 2nd and 6 at the Newark 40-yard line. Now trips to the right for Padalano, who sits in the gun. Hannick sits to his right in the backfield, fires across to this lone receiver, Jabri White, who they had, again, out one-on-one, wide left all alone out there.
Jabri White, one of the better athletes in the state, an outstanding basketball player, a terrific young man, a senior who just came out for football a year ago, is an excellent route runner, has developed excellent hands, and he's able to catch the ball in traffic. That was a quick slant, Padalano right on target. They've obviously worked a lot. I saw them both in the summer. I was very impressed with the relationship they had built so early on. Joey Wright doing a great job of coaching up the quarterback, and Jabri Wright responding to the quarterback with some excellent route running.
New set of downs inside the 30 for St. Mark's. Padalano now in the gun. He's got 2 running backs back there with him, Hannick and Artis. This time they'll float a screen outside to Jack Burns, and a good cut break on the ball by the Newark Yellow Jackets. I believe that was the quarterback, Damian Wright.
Well, we talked about the fact this is his first year as a quarterback, but he had played defensive back last year, really showing his skill set off an excellent open field tackle. They did a nice job of reading the bubble. One thing when you face Joey Wright is you're going to see a lot of different formations. You've got to have defensive queued up almost by formation versus calling in a particular defense. Formation recognition, very important when you play a Joey Wright orchestrated offense.
2nd and 11, give him a loss of 1 on the Jack Burns reception and play a go. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now for Padalano. Takes the snap out of the gun, going to step up in the pocket, but he's going to be wrapped up back there, and that's going to be a big sack for the Newark Yellow Jackets. And I believe that's number 68. But he's got the jersey bunched up back there, so a little tough for us to see, but a great play nonetheless.
Well, what happened there, they got an edge rusher that forced Padalano to step up into the pocket. And then the sophomore, DeCorey Johnson, had a really nice interior bull rush, and he's the recipient of the speed rush, forcing Padalano to tuck the ball and run up inside. A good decision by Padalano. Nobody open, but better.
In the I formation, and now a whistle, I believe, on the far sideline.
I think defensive coordinator Tyron Rice, who's a really good friend of mine and an excellent coordinator, saw that his defense was not in the right position. Takes another smart timeout, as Jody Russell used earlier on, to be sure they didn't get the delay of game. Newark being very smart. Coaching staff really engaged here. This is a staff that's been around for a while. Darren Brody's a veteran. Tyron Rice is a veteran. Jody Russell's a veteran. And they're going to get this program going again. I guarantee you that. They're young. They're very explosive athletically. And they seem to be really taking to the coaching of this Newark staff.
Yellow Jacks able to punch in on their last offensive drive, and a good job there to force the Spartans to third and about 20. So we'll see what Coach Joey Wright and the Spartans can draw up here on 3rd and 20. We saw the Hens last week with a 3rd and 40, the Chiefs with a 3rd and 39, and sometimes that just happens, right?
Well, 3rd in Pennsylvania or whatever, maybe even Maryland. I'll tell you, this offensive line of St. Mark's, though, has really matured. Jimmy Petroselli, who played at St. Mark's, I coached him in basketball, then he played offensive line up at Lehigh. An outstanding coach, really doing a nice job of molding this line that's had some injuries.
So 3rd and 20, Padalano under center, I formation for Donovan Artis, and they're just going to straight hand it off to him around up the left side, and he picks up about 3 or 4 to about the 35-yard line, but now 4th and around 15 or 16 upcoming for the Spartans.
I like the play call. I think Joey Wright knew that it's going to be 4-down territory for him. Unless they choose to punt, they may punt now. They ran a counter tray. That means they pull the backside guard and tackle sometimes, or tackle and end. That was guard and tackle. They block down on the front side to run the ball. I think he's playing it smart with the lead. He's going to punt them deep into their own territory, but sometimes these offensive coordinators, you never know. Ron Smith, an excellent special teams coordinator, may have something up his sleeve here.
There's the snap. It's clean. This one is going to be straight punted away. Going to take a hop at the 15. And St. Mark's going to let it roll inside the 10, so a pretty good punt there for the Spartans. And they're going to pin Newark inside their own 10-yard line, 9:52 remaining here in the second quarter.
Ronnie Smith, a veteran coach, played at Dickinson, Delaware grad, an outstanding coach. He's been around at St. Mark's, also coaches track here, has done an outstanding job over the years molding this special teams group. He's really wise. He's gotten a lot of his starters in. They have excellent skill sets. The punter that time directionally punting into the right boundary. Good job by his cover team to let the ball lay as long as it was. Credit Ron Smith for great development of the special teams here at St. Mark's.
Here comes the Newark offense one more time. They'll empty it out for Damian Wright. And he'll take the snap. Tried to hand it off there, but nowhere to go. Big play. I believe that was Von Highland again. And that one almost a safety, loss of about 5 or 6. The snap did scoop off the ground. Wright did a good job to corral and hand the ball off anyway.
Highland is quick. He looks to me like he's 280, 290. He has great leverage, plays low to the ground. That time exploiting the guard and just getting up the field to create a tackle. A TFL, as we call it, almost a safety, as you described. An outstanding play by Highland, who's impressed me going both ways here tonight.
Now pinned deep in their own territory. At around their own 2-yard line are the Yellow Jackets, 2nd and 18. Right out of the shotgun. Here comes the pressure again. Crosses body, has his man Sandin at the 10. And he'll pick up a few more after the catch. So a good second down play there. And now 3rd and about 9 from their own 10-yard line are the Yellow Jackets. Well, and actually laundry on the field, I believe, maybe a penalty.
Well, the reason he was so open, St. Mark's had a max blitz on that provided Newark the opportunity to exploit the middle of the field, which they took.
And it's going to come back, a hold against the Yellow Jackets.
And that's because of the pressure. There's always someone that starts to lose the block very quickly or sees a backer running by them and they reach out an arm. Rick Jessic and his officiating crew doing a nice job tonight, letting the game flow, letting the players play, but obviously calling things that impact the game.
So after the penalty, 2nd and 18. Need to get to about the 19-yard line is Newark, and they're at their own 1.
This would almost be a consideration, Nick, to take a safety here.
Right, they're just going to hand it off up the middle. Able to get past the line of scrimmage was Dejor White. Pick up a yard or 2, and now 3rd and extra long once more.
And the reason I say that is, okay, you have 2 against you, but you punt from or kick off from the 20. You don't give St. Mark's good field position here, and I think that's always a consideration. Sometimes on early downs, or maybe even a quick kick would be potentially appropriate.
3rd and 15 now for the Yellow Jackets at their own 3-yard line. Ryan in the shotgun. He's got trips to his left, one lone receiver to the right. That snap's on the ground. Wright going to have to corral it and do something with it. He's going to fire it. Intended for his intended target, number 7, Brian Black. And a great job by the Spartans there to hold. And Wright able to get that out. Could have been a safety there for St. Mark's.
A lot of pressure on these centers in today's game since everybody's going shotgun, pistol, whatever. You've just got to be so accurate with your snap. You never know you're in there until a bad snap. You could snap 50 in a row perfectly. And unfortunately, that time that was low. Wright couldn't handle it, but he did a nice job to just get rid of the ball very quickly. A receiver in the area.
And now, deep in their own territory, they're going to have to punt out of their own end zone. A tough spot for Benjamin Elko, the senior punter for the Yellow Jackets. And now some confusion here on the punt team for Newark. So 4th and 15, and maybe the toughest spot to punt on the field for Newark, and that ball was snapped over the goalpost and out of play, but luckily we had a whistle beforehand if you're a Yellow Jacket fan. And it looks as if, though, we might have another delay of game penalty. We'll wait and see, and that is exactly what it is. Shout out to Pat Garians. And another penalty against the Yellow Jackets, Coach. They've got a few here in the first half.
Well, when you're at the 1, I'm not sure the penalty really matters that much. Unfortunately, these don't get assessed after the play or something. Now, that was a snap that would have resulted in a safety. And as the punter in these situations, you've got to be very cognizant. If they look like they're going to block it, just take the ball and take a knee. Or if it's a bad snap, don't try to get it off and result in a 5 or 10-yard punt. Just take the ball and run out of bounds. So you really need to coach up punters in these situations. Obviously, if the snap's over his head, it won't matter. It will just result in a safety.
7:10 remaining in the opening half. Still 14-6, a one-possession ball game here at the Graveyard between St. Mark's and Newark. Spartan defense pinning the Yellow Jackets deep in their own territory here. 4th and 15, and the Yellow Jackets set to punt away. It's Benjamin Elko in the back of his own end zone. This one skipped right to him again. He's going to field it up and just get it away, Coach. And that's going to take a hop at the 30 and settle at about the 37-yard line. So, Coach, we just talked about it. Either could take the safety there, or you give the Spartans 1st and 10 at the 37, and that's just the way that play unfolded that time.
Well, Elko did a great job of handling that snap. And, again, another thing punters do if they're not well coached, the ball rolls to them, they might accidentally go down on a knee to handle it and pick it up. That would have obviously resulted in a safety. I would say Newark got about out of that situation as well as they could have. A nice 36-yard punt under duress by Elko. Good field position for St. Mark's, but a nice job by Newark to kind of manage that aspect of the game deep in their end zone, deep in their zone.
And Newark able to hold the Spartans on their last drive and force a punt. We'll see what they can do here. Spartans got great starting field position at the 37 of Newark. They'll turn hand straight up the middle to Donovan Artis, and he picks up about 5 on first down to the Newark 35.
Newark moving now to more of a 5-man front, more of a 5-2 look. They'll play some quarters and some man in the back end. They're doing this to try to counter the run game of St. Mark's, getting an extra lineman in to make sure they secure all the gaps. Artis running up on an inside lead play. Nice tackle there by the interior of Newark's line.
2nd and 8 upcoming after the 2-yard gain by Artis there on first down. They'll I formation again. Padalano under center. They'll turn, give to Hannick straight up the middle. And again, he's had success on that play. Breaks right through the defense, finds a gap, and picks up about 20 on the 2nd down carry.
They go back to the guard trap. The right guard trapping to the left. A quick hitter up the middle. You get the linebackers blocked, and you trap out one of the D linemen. It's been getting up the field. A nice downfield tackle that saved a touchdown by Jaden Smith, the wide receiver, who's had some great catches early on in this game.
Halfway through our second quarter, 14-6, new set of downs for the Spartan. They're right at the red zone at the Newark 20. Padalano back under center, Artis the tailback. Padalano takes the snap again, guard trap, I believe, up the middle one more time to Hannick. And again, if it's not broke, no need to fix it, Coach, and they pick up 7 there as well.
Well, you make a great point. That's the sophomore backup right guard, Tristan Hansen, doing a nice job of pulling quickly to his left and trapping the down man St. Mark's offensive line looks to me like they're getting in rhythm here, getting off the ball well, getting to their assignments.
2nd and 4, 6-yard gain that time on first down for the Spartans. They continue to drive. Again, began this drive at their Newark 37 just a few moments ago. I formation one more time for Padalano, who's under center for the Spartans. He'll turn this time. He drops straight back, looking for Jabri White on the right side of the end zone, and he's got him. Perfect ball, touchdown, Jabri White and the Spartans.
When you're in 4-down territory, when you've got an outstanding receiver who has a height advantage, you split him out to the wide side of the field, you draw single coverage, you put your quarterback under to give the illusion of a run play, and then you 3-step drop and just throw the ball out over Jabri White's shoulder. That's a really tough play to stop. An excellent throw and catch. Jabri White doing a nice job of getting leverage on the Newark cornerback.
Jabri White's 3rd touchdown of the season. On that one, again, one-on-one coverage. Perfect throw from Padalano and a nice catch by Jabri White in stride. Extra point is up and good. 21-6. The Spartans leading here late in the second quarter. 5 minutes remaining in our opening half, and the Spartans offense coach has looked pretty good tonight.
They've been very sharp. Joey Wright's done a masterful job of mixing up the run and the pass. He's kept them off balance with the guard traps, the powers, and then thrown very well deep. Padalano has really impressed me. He can be under, he can be in gun, he can be in pistol. He has a lot of composure. He knows exactly where Joey Wright, the offensive coordinator and head coach of St. Mark's, wants him to go with the ball. And he's done a nice job with his long throws, putting it only where his receivers can make a play on it, which is not as easy as you would think, but looks to me very composed back there. The rush has not bothered him other than one time when he had to tuck the ball and the run. But this young quarterback, I think, has a bright future here, especially under the guidance of Joey Wright.
Again, just a sophomore, very impressive here he has been so far at the Graveyard. 21-6, again, 5 minutes remaining as they're set to punt it away. And again, Coach, St. Mark's missing some key guys tonight, and they were without them against Woodbridge, and they're quickly forgetting that Woodbridge game, and they look sharp here early. Ellerby going to return this kick, has some space, makes a move at the 35-40, breaks another tackle at midfield. He's got to beat 3 Spartans, but that ball's knocked out from behind. Recovered by St. Mark's. What a play to chase the runner down. It seemed like Ellerby had some space and never given up on the play and forcing the fumble.
When you've run a long distance, especially when you've traversed the field left to right, there is a tendency to forget about ball security. You either get your elbow separated from your rib cage or your top hand comes down below your elbow, your wrist below your elbow. Those are bad outcomes. What I like there is we talked earlier about St. Mark's pursuit. They're just trying to make a big play in their special teams, continuing to play even though it looked like Ellerby was breaking away. Excellent hustle by St. Mark's special teams to avoid a catastrophe.
Again, wasn't sure who ripped it out. The ball was recovered by number 41, John Donahue, the sophomore. So the Spartan offense back out on the field. What maybe for a second looked as Newark would have great field position to start their drive. The offense for the Spartans back out. They're going to go sudden change play action on first down, but he is wrapped up in the backfield by Samir Rollins, the sophomore DN.
I think there was some miscommunication there. I thought, like you, that it was going to be a play-action pass, but the way the line blocked, it looked like it was a power play to the left. So Padalano did the smart thing. With the lead and the ball, he just secured it instead of trying to make some play where you give up 20 yards and then they tackle you for a massive loss. I thought he did the right thing. Just go down and move on to play the next play.
Loss of 5 on the miscommunication. 2nd and 15 now for the Spartans. Need to get to the Newark 41-yard line. And again, the defense for the Yellow Jackets going to have to try to come up with a stop here after turning the ball over on the kickoff. And now a whistle. Head coach Joey Wright, I believe, going to take a timeout, talk to his team with 3:58 remaining in our opening half. Again, the Spartans leading 21-6. And, Coach, what have you seen so far? What does Newark got to do here to get back in this one?
Well, they've got to find a way to stop the interior run game. I think they've loaded the box with 5. Their linebackers have to stay at home and read those guards a little bit better. In this type of defense, when you have your linebackers over the top of the guards, you can read them. They've been pulling and trapping. That's something that they might be able to diagnose a little bit better. And then they've got to have an answer for Jabri White. I think that's a take by Panalano almost every time he's drawn single coverage. He actually ended up getting double teamed on that early switch route in which Burns caught the ball down the right sideline on the opening drive. Offensively, and obviously they've got to stop turning the ball over and getting themselves in such bad field position. But I do like their spirit. They've played hard. They've made some big plays. They've got
Spartan offense back out on the field, 2nd and 15, under 4 minutes to play here in our first half. Padalano under center, double slot. And now some deep motion for the Spartans. They'll turn, hand it off up the middle. I believe that's Hannick. And once again, nowhere to run. Good push up front by that Newark defensive line.
Well, a nice job by Newark. They go to a 4-man front. They blitz the middle linebacker, Matthew Lazier, and then he occupies a gap. The ball gets turned out to the outside. Hannick forced to bounce, and then Newark's defense there to team tackle. So a nice team defense there by Jody Russell's group.
Well, Coach, 3:30 to go here in the first half, and Newark looking to get the ball back, maybe give the offense another chance as we wind down first half action. 3:21 and ticking, and 3rd and 15 for the Spartans at their own 25. Padalano in the shotgun. There goes Taj Johnson in motion. He'll take the snap, fake to Johnson, now going to roll right, looking for his back out of the backfield, now going to look down the field, and he's going to tuck it and take off himself, reverse field, and he's off to the races. Chase Padalano going to let some blockers get out in front of him, and now he's at midfield, and a late flag around that spot at midfield, and this one might be coming back. We'll have to wait and see, but what a run by Chase Padalano, the sophomore. Good eyes downfield and found a path to take off.
Padalano made a great decision there. He knew they were running man-to-man with his receivers. They were plastered, so he tucks the ball, works back across the field, and any time you have that dramatic a change of direction, there's a good chance that you might get somebody holding or a block in the back. It's going to be block in the back, which can happen when you change direction that quickly. But Padalano really showed off his speed there. A tough guy running. Also did a nice job of slowing down as he got to midfield to allow his blockers to get in front of him. So a nice play, somewhat negated. But Padalano's really showed me a lot. He has good poise, good understanding of Joey Wright's offense, excellent long thrower in particular, and then when need be, good tuck and run.
So that'll be a 10-yard penalty, Coach, but now it's 3rd and 2. It was 3rd and 15 before the quarterback scramble. That would have been good for a first down. They get the block in the back, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. Clock continuing to run at 2:46.
Well, important here that Newark, I think, crowds the box. This is a guard trap. This is inside power, unless Joey Wright wants to take a shot here. But I think he's going to try to get the first down secured here and then hurry up. Quarterback sneak.
There you have it, Coach. Quarterback sneak, Chase Padalano up the middle, but it's going to be close. I'm not sure if he got there.
Newark did a great job of crowding all those inside gaps.
And that's going to set up a 4th down, no measurement needed. Again, that Newark defensive line with a great job there on that drive defensively and stopping some of those runs and some TFLs as well.
Absolutely. This is a huge win for Newark's defense. I'm actually a little surprised they're punting here. I thought they might go ahead and go for it. He's had great success with Hannick running, but he's going to punt it here, being conservative with the lead. Now remember, Newark gets the ball at the start of the second half.
1:48 to work with. They're going to snap it anyway. Ball is punted up in the air and looks like it's going to take a hop at the 30.
Now, St. Mark's should let the ball lie. They should wait until the official blows the whistle, which they do. An excellent job there by special teams to drain off a couple of extra seconds. That's great coaching by Ron Smith.
And, Coach, you talked about that Newark defense. They shut down those lanes up front. They force the 3 and out, if you will. Now they get the ball back. And what do you got to say out of this offense with 1.5 minutes here? Do you try to take a shot? Do you play careful because you get the ball in the second half? Or what are you thinking?
I think they should take a shot or maybe another trick play. Now, let's not forget that they are getting the ball, as you mentioned, but they only have 1 timeout because they had to use the other 2 earlier in this half. So not a lot to work with. I don't believe this is necessarily a 2-minute drill here. I would just say get some positive yardage and make sure you don't turn it over.
Right out of the gun, had to hesitate, now fires and goes up and gets it on the nice catch. I believe that time was his go-to man, Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith looked like a basketball player going up for a rebound there and ripped it down. Again, the relationship between the quarterback and Smith the receiver, has really impressed me tonight. They're just on the same page in terms of their timing, the route running, and the ability to get the ball out of his hands as Damian Wright, the quarterback.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion from Wright to Smith. Right now back in the gun again. This time he's going to look to run. Now set back, fire, looking for Jaden Smith again, who jumped maybe a little bit too early. But that one just over his head and out of play.
Now, one of the problems here, if you throw the ball on 3rd down, St. Mark's has timeouts remaining. They might be able to get the ball back and take a shot themselves. So I would recommend here at least run the ball, get the clock moving. St. Mark's will probably call a timeout unless it's very close to the 1st down.
3rd and 5 upcoming for the Yellow Jackets. 54 seconds remaining here in first half action. A 21-6 ball game. That has been good here so far from the Graveyard. A great crowd here out in the stands at St. Mark's High School. Wright's going to take the snap out of the gun. Here comes the pressure. They try the wheel route out of the backfield and in and out of the hands of his intended target, Jair Towson, who ran that route again out of the backfield.
Towson is a big play threat. They run the wheel route, the 1st and 2nd receiver to the wide side of the field, run in-breaking routes. They try to sneak Towson out behind and run the wheel. That was well defensed. Now, here's the problem. You took a shot of a big play. It was well defended. You leave St. Mark's with timeouts in 48 seconds. They force you to punt. I wouldn't be surprised here if Ron Smith puts a rush on. We've seen some questionable snaps from the long snapper of Newark.
Elko is back. We'll see if he has to make a play on this one. 4th and 5 set to go. That one right into his hands. He'll take it and get it away. It's a high one. Going to bounce at the 47, then take a St. Mark's hop to midfield. So, Coach, that's where they'll begin this drive. 40 seconds to go, and they'll have it, and they need to take it about 50 yards if they want to score 6. And if they want to put points on the board, a little bit less than that. But good field position for the Spartans here.
Absolutely. Elko did a nice job of handling that high snap, not to allow it to go over his head. He was able to only take one step and get it off. Now, there's a little mistake from a coaching standpoint. Even though that ball looked like it might have been going backwards at Newark, it would have been much more important to let 3 or 4 seconds run off the clock than worry about a yard or two. And those are the little things that in a close game might make the difference between allowing St. Mark's to have enough time to score or not.
Well, they've got 40 seconds. They're up by 2 scores, looking to add on here. And they're going to go double slot. Padalano in the gun. Hannick sits to his right, and Jabri White is at the bottom of your screen here for the Spartans. Padalano going to look left, fire quickly to the left, has his man near the far sideline. That ball was hauled in by Taj Johnson.
Well, they're getting single coverage out here, and that's one of the reasons you balance the field. You go 2 by 2. It forces them, unless they have a particular defense called, they've got single coverage on Jabri Wright.
20 seconds. Padalano drops back, fires, has Jack Burns at the 40. He broke a tackle. He's still on his feet. The 30, the 20, the 15. He's going to be run down. No, he's not in the end zone. And what a play for the Spartans as they take it with about 20 seconds is all they needed. As we close down the first half, Jack Burns breaks some tackles, then off to the races. Impressive catch and run.
2 hitches run by Burns and Jabri White to the right side. Padalano on target to the inside. And we talk about what a good athlete Jabri White is and the pass catching ability, but he threw the block that sprung Burns by not peeling back. He was in a hitch. He just turned down and blocked the interior man. His man was over the top. That allowed Burns to get freedom down the right sideline. So receivers have to learn to block for one another. Jabri White with a big play. Burns with an outstanding run after the catch.
Extra point is up and good. The 4th touchdown of the first half for the Spartans, and you talked about leaving some of those seconds back on the clock on the play prior, and then the punt. And now, Coach, with just 8 seconds left, the Spartans able to take it 50 yards and punch it in one more time. A huge play for the Spartans, taking most of that momentum back with them here as we head into the locker room.
I think Joe Wright was just trying to get the first down there and maybe set up a Hail Mary into the end zone, but Burns obviously made the play for them. An outstanding throw. This Padalano has really impressed me. He has, as I mentioned, a nice throwing platform. He's got good confidence. He's got excellent arm talent, and he's been delivering the ball to an open receiver almost every time. Good decisions by a young quarterback. Not so easy to do. He's been very impressive.
Impressive drive for the Spartans. Took about 30 seconds off the clock. They took it 50 yards in 4 plays. 28-6 lead now for St. Mark's here at home. And Newark, Coach, they've shown some flashes both offensively and defensively, just not able to find that rhythm on either side of the ball here, and they will get the ball coming out in the second half as that kick will be fielded by Ellerby on the right side of the field, but nowhere to run. And we'll see if Newark can head to the locker room and figure something out here as they head back for the second half.
Well, they'll probably just take a knee, but a nice job by the kickoff man, Jeremy Shannon, a junior. That time they kick a low bouncer, a basketball-type dribble kick, but he kicked it into the boundary that allowed his coverage team to congregate there. So a nice job again by the special teams of St. Mark's not to allow this explosive return game of Newark to get going.
St. Mark's rebounding well so far here tonight. 28-6 is your score at the break. The Spartans over the Yellow Jackets here at the Graveyard. We're going to take a break and we come back. Second half action here on Delaware Live Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is the perfect place to have dinner with your family. Enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo's popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue.
Our home preservation can be challenging. Your home is your castle, and only the best and most trusted will work, right? Of course. So why is Ace Handyman Services different and the right choice? We take great pride in our easy, no-hassle scheduling and communication process. You call, we answer, and we listen. Or take advantage of online booking 24/7. Once we understand your home needs, we schedule a craftsman to arrive at a convenient time for you. You then receive a pre-call the night before from your craftsman. On my way text notification so you know when to expect your craftsman to arrive. Regular updates on the progress of your job. Even follow-up prior to any warranty expiration dates. Easy, convenient, no surprises, ever. Our commitment is to treat your home, your family, your time, and your privacy with respect. Rest assured, you are always our top priority. Our multi-skilled craftsmen will complete the work on your home in a workmanlike manner. If we don't, we'll come back to make it right. It's what we do and have been since 1998. Simply put, we're different. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon.
High school athletics is not what it used to be. The sporting goods industry has been disrupted, adding to coach and athletic director daily challenges. BSN Sports stands ready to change the fundamentals of our industry, giving our customers the advantages they need right now. Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and has the advantages you need right now.
walk you through the process from start to finish and get your questions answered. I'm a DHSA lender with down payment assistance programs or grant money. I can help those 599 or visit briansloans.com when you are ready to get started on your road to homeownership.
Hi, it's Scott and Lauren from Sodell Concepts.
And today we're at Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Catch 54 is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine overlooking the bay. House favorites include signature crab cakes, shrimp and grits, our famous 54 burger, all accompanied by a Wine Spectator wine list and a great selection of craft ales and cocktails. Catch 54 offers delicious nightly specials, award-winning waterfront dining views, and the best happy hour in town.
Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week.
See you soon.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
At Ferris Home Improvements, your family's comfort and safety is always our top priority.
If you call us for your roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchen, and bathroom needs, you can expect health-screened craftsmen who wear gloves and face masks and follow minimum 6-foot distancing, virtual conferences to discuss project details, job quotes delivered electronically or brought to your door for your review and approval, and our showrooms in Newark and Rehoboth Beach remain open for limited appointments.
We're here together.
Operating with precautions.
To protect our staff
and our customers.
High Five Hospitality was founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise concept to Delaware. They now operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings, 6 locations throughout Delaware, and 2 locations in Maryland. B-Dubs has weekly and game day specials on their delicious food and beverages. Stop in one of their convenient locations today. The Stone Balloon Ale House features a unique blend of crafted food and an array of spirits, all flavored with a dash of nostalgia. Our culinary mantra is comfort food playfully reimagined, and we prepare seasonal favorites that strive to please the palate and resurface a memory. Limestone Barbecue, from our mouth-watering Texas-style brisket, fall-off-the-bone chicken, and St. Louis ribs. Southern-style sides, mac and cheese, baked beans, cornbread, sweet tea, and our homemade pickles. Be prepared as your bread will be your napkin. Yup, we are that kind of barbecue. Expectation. You'll have a tough time choosing between our exclusive dishes to help get you through the day. French toast, French crepes, Belgian waffles, and of course, our famous Eggs Benedict. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality.
The best part about great people is great people leads to quality of care, and our physical therapists really lead that mission and drive that.
It means being a leader in the profession and in the community, giving the patients the best possible care.
Whatever they want to, whether it's to get back on the sports field, to get back to work, or get back to whatever they need to do in their regular lives, that's really what underlies everything.
When patients come in here, they really truly do feel like part of our team.
I'm feeling good to know that you're listening and you're finding a way to help me. For me, that's huge.
You know, we want to help everybody we come into contact with. That's where we kind of get our reward as clinicians and therapists, is to see them achieve their goal and get back to, you know, what they wanted to. It's certainly been very rewarding to see how many people we can help as we've grown.
Our patients come in here and they really put a lot of trust in us to get them back to doing the things that they can't do. When you can't do those things, at the end of the day, your life is not fulfilled.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is a perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison-Druni alongside the coach Bill Harmon. Pat Garanis behind the glass for us here, producing at the Graveyard. It's St. Mark's and the Newark Yellow Jackets in a battle of Class 2A programs. And, Coach, a 28-6 lead for the Spartans. The offense looked very efficient there in the first half. They racked up touchdowns from Taj Johnson, Donovan Artis, Jack Burns, and Jabri White, and the defense did their part as well. But the Spartans, they looked good in that first half. What did you see out of St. Mark's?
What I liked about the quarterback is he does a nice job, only a sophomore, Chase Panalano, of spreading the ball around. He just doesn't focus in on one receiver. He knows he has Jabri White out there, which he can take some shots at, but he has distributed the ball to a number of different receivers. He's gotten good protection. He's made good decisions when to tuck and run. He had that outstanding run across the field. He's really shown off his athleticism, and he's going to benefit for these next 2.5 years with Joey Wright coaching him. He reminds me a lot of Joey, a great athlete, good arm, smart, tenacious, and a great competitor. But this is an offense that they can run the ball behind that big offensive line, but they can spread you and throw it. Their special teams are excellent. Their defense has been on top tonight. They've done a nice job of resetting the line of scrimmage. Their linebackers have flowed well, and Newark's had a couple big plays, but just not enough, not been consistent enough to maintain that against just a better team tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned that, the Ellerby touchdown on the reverse in the first quarter, the only score of the night for the Yellow Jackets so far, but you talked about it, a few turnovers, a big kickoff return that they fumbled deep into St. Mark's territory, a few other penalties and stuff like that. The score 28-6, but Newark playing a little bit of a better football game tonight. Definitely a rebound game from last week. What do you need to see out of Newark? What do they have to do to get back in this one and maybe pull some type of comeback here at the Graveyard?
Well, they've got to, first of all, protect Damian Wright. He's been under some pressure. That's forced them to throw three-step, quick game. They haven't had a chance to exploit down the field. In the one drive, they did a nice job of running the ball up the middle. They had some quarterback leads and then a quarterback draw. They probably need to try to figure out a way to get another trick or two in. That seems to keep St. Mark's off balance and then have a chance to strike down the field. They're probably going to have to be a little bit more aggressive in some of their play calling, but I think Jody Russell and his team have done a nice job of staying in this game. They're there. Had it not been for that big turnover at that moment, I think Newark could have put a little bit more pressure on St. Mark's. Now St. Mark's can lay back. They can attack. Their offense is going to be a little bit more fluid because of that, no pressure on them. But I've been impressed. Newark definitely bounced back. This is a program that's on the rise. Jody Russell and his staff are doing a nice job of continuing to coach these guys up no matter what the situation. So they need to clean up some of those penalties. They need to get their kicking game in order and take advantage of this first kickoff. Get some good field position, take a couple shots, maybe run another trick play, and protect Damian Wright.
And, Coach, some other big games going on around the state of Delaware tonight. We'll check in with a few scores. Sussex Tech and Woodbridge, they're going to the fourth quarter. An 8-6 lead for the Ravens over the Blue Raiders of Woodbridge. 8-6. Sussex Tech playing a phenomenal game right now. We'll see if they can hold on, but the fourth quarter has been Woodbridge's quarter all season long, so we'll look to see what the Blue Raiders can answer with there. Middletown was up 21-0 as they wound down the first quarter. Then Devin Wilson blows up a screen pass, forces the fumble, scoops it up, and takes it 60 yards. We know that Apo defense is for real this year. 21-7, the Cavs leading as that one heads into the locker room. Caravel and Red Lion, the Buccaneers leading Red Lion 9-0, still halfway through the second quarter there in that one. And then obviously our score in front of us, 28-6, St. Mark's and Newark. So, Coach, you heard some of those scores up and down the state. We had two games postponed and or canceled here today between Milford as well. So a couple of games postponed. Milford and Delmar, and then Brandywine and Indian River. That game was canceled outright. So all the games we do have been some good ones all up and down the state today. And again, St. George's gets that big win over Salesianum, 21-14.
Well, that's an outstanding win for John Wilson's program. They are up and coming. They've got some outstanding players. Giovanni Sanchez, Eli Alexander, the quarterback, who I get a chance to see during the summer, Donovan Brooks, has really improved. He can run it. He can throw it. He's a really skillful lefty. That's a big win for John's program after coming off that tough loss last week. but they bounce back, and that's what good programs do. They get better. They keep working at it. They've got a great staff down there, and that was a terrific victory on the road. I mean, Sally's is certainly not done. That's their first loss. They've changed their offense up. It's really dynamic, as you and I got a chance to describe. I think they have a terrific defense that has great speed and athleticism, and I'm not surprised that the score was so low. I would have been more surprised had it been a wider score. This Marvin Dooley Woodbridge team is really coming into its own downstate, Nick. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it out in the fourth quarter. They are tough-minded. They are well coached by Marvin Dooley, and they're always in great shape. And that Caravel team and Red Lion, haven't had a chance to see Red Lion. I know what they can do, and they've got some excellent players, and they've got a nice scheme. But that Caravel team is really tough. They've got an outstanding running back, a really tough defense. I think that's a team that has a lot of playoff aspirations, and I won't be surprised to see them in the playoffs myself. I really like them. They're well coached. Johnny Reed has done a great job over the years with that program. He's got an excellent staff as well, and they work very hard down there.
Again, some great games all up and down the state of Delaware tonight. Look out for some more great games tomorrow. The University of Delaware Blue Hens, they are off, so they'll be back at it in Newark again next week against Albany. So again, ticking down here, halftime action. We're about ready to start the second half here from the Graveyard. It's Newark and St. Mark's. And Coach, again, we're not sure yet, but you may see us down the road at Apo and St. George's in a few weeks. Again, we have to finalize some details there, but again, we're looking for where we'll be next week, and we'll let you all know as soon as we do.
Nick, being a St. Mark's grad, can you explain to me this Graveyard over here at St. Mark's? Is that because of the proximity of the All Saints, or is there something else that you know as an insider?
Yes, I believe that is it. I'm getting the thumbs up from Rat in the booth. But yes, I believe we tried to figure it out a little bit in here, and I believe that's the reason. And that's what we got. We got the thumbs up, so that is it. And again, back when I was here in 2013, that was never, we never referred to it as the great. I like it though, Coach. I will say it's catching on as a nice little.
Well, I expect someday
location.
This will be Nick Alessandrini Field too at the Graveyard. So we'll see how that goes. For you listeners and viewers, Nick was an excellent football player here. I got the really fun time to work with him over the years, and besides his play-by-play expertise, he was a pretty good high school football player as well.
Oh, Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate that. As we're set to get started here, second half action from St. Mark's High School. Again, we are at the Graveyard, as previously mentioned. You see up on that hill over there to our right, packed with fans, all lined up around the fence here. Concession stand smells fantastic from where we are. You got me out here in front of the stands with a lot of the fans here at St. Mark's, and it's been a phenomenal night and a phenomenal experience for us here in our game of the week. And we are underway. Back to receive it will be Ellerby. He's got some talent, took one deep the other way, and that one's going to be coming back. You see the block in the back that time by number 23 for Newark. And another flag for the Yellow Jackets here early to start the second half, Coach.
Well, I like Ellerby a lot. He is a very daring runner. He likes to work back across the field, and that's what caused that block in the back. You teach your special teams people to try to be aggressive and make plays, but one of the things you tell them last is make sure every block's in the front, it's up top, and don't throw an unnecessary block. And unfortunately that one was from behind and not in front, negating a nice effort there by Ellerby to traverse the field.
Ellerby with a few decent run backs here tonight. The one took it almost about 60 yards before he had it ripped out from behind deep into St. Mark's territory. But now the Newark offense will get the ball here first in the second half, but they are pinned deep at their own 5-yard line. We'll see what Coach Jody Russell draws up here with the quarterback Damian Wright. And Coach, you talked about him, looked pretty good there in the first half, made some nice throws.
Yes, he did. He hung in there. There was some good pressure applied. He's got a good feel for their offense in the short passing game. Look for him to take a few shots at some point this second half.
This time he'll fake the read, take it himself. And he stopped after no gain. Good job that time up front by the Spartans. 2nd and 9 upcoming.
Hanish, Highland, the two-gapper and the linebacker who's played extremely well here tonight. This St. Mark's defense, as I mentioned earlier, runs to the ball well, but they've got excellent gap control. Mark Vanderkoven is the defensive coordinator a long time. He was here at St. Mark's, played at St. Mark's, a great friend of Joey Wright. He joined his staff. He had been at AI and called defenses over there and was their basketball coach. And he's done and at St. Elizabeth's as well. And he's doing a nice job of formulating this Spartan defense.
Wright dropped the snap that time, picked it right back up, and then fired to his man Jaden Smith, and unable to haul it in, deflected out there by Jack Burns. And now that'll bring up quickly 3rd and 9 for the Yellow Jacket offense. Again, deep into their own territory. Trailing 28-6. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down. A big play for Newark.
Burns did a great job there of reading Wright's eyes. He broke directly on the ball, almost got the interception himself. He's a very active safety. This back end playing some 2 and some quarters look really fits into Burns' mentality. A very smart player.
Ellerby, Townsend, and Smith to the right of Wright, who sits in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Here comes the pressure. Has to roll right. Going to have to get rid of it. Fires it straight up in the air and incomplete over the head of Jaden Smith. But that could have been a lot more dangerous than it was.
Well, big Luke Watson, the junior, who I think has a big margin to be a terrific player. He put a great move on, getting outside and then inside to flush right out of the pocket. This young man, Luke Watson, a very tenacious defender. He also plays offensive tackle. I think he's being molded in the eyes of Jimmy Petroselli. He could play. He's definitely going to play at the next level. An explosive player who's got a big motor and a very persistent defender.
We had him on the show a few weeks back, again, ahead of that Red Lion matchup, and he is a definite D1 prospect. Pitt, Toledo, Nova, Delaware. He's been phenomenal for St. Mark's this season. So the short punt that time for Elko, and another area that they've struggled with so far tonight has been that punt, and maybe overall on special teams as Newark tonight.
Well, they have, and they've also been dealt a tough hand with very difficult field position. Elko's kicked out of his end zone twice. He saved a safety once. I think he's doing about the best he can. The problem is he hasn't been able to get consistent in his drop to get the spiral off, so a lot of his kicks have been end over end, which ultimately is going to negate the total distance.
Well, Coach, St. Mark's again going to start with fantastic field position. They'll have it at the Newark 30, 1st and 10. Pantalano under center. He'll take the snap, turn, and give to Artis. And a nice play that time by the Newark defense, as in on the tackle was number 21, Marquis Ellerby, doing it this time defensively. And you talked about his defense a little earlier on the broadcast.
Yes, he is. Ellerby inserts himself quite well. That was the guard trap again. They traded the tight end, O'Donohue, from right to left to make it a pro that way. Then they trapped to the tight end. Well diagnosed and defended by Newark's front.
2nd and 8 now upcoming. St. Mark's driving, looking to put more points on the board, again, thanks to the defense setting them up with fantastic field position. Pantalano under center here on 2nd down. They'll toss it to Taj Johnson. They scored on the play earlier, and he's got some daylight there, and he's going to have 1st down yardage and a pickup of about 15 on 2nd and 8.
That reminds me of a play the Air Force Academy runs. They'll get into doubles. That's a 2-by-2 set with 2 split ends and 2 slots. They kick up in deep motion or halo motion, as I mentioned, behind the quarterback in the back. They get him going full speed. That's a quick toss, and then he already has leverage on the defense unless they've recognized this and bumped. And Johnson's really good at getting his shoulder pads face down the field. An outstanding runner who's got some good moves.
I formation once again. They're going to run this time with Artis up the left side. That ball came flying out of there. I don't know if the ground created that fumble or not, but that popped right into the hands of the Newark linebacker. And I believe they're going to talk about it here. They're maybe saying the ground forced the fumble. And no, they're going to give it to the Yellow Jackets. So that ball came flying out of the hands of Donovan Artis and right into the hands of number 54, Elijah Gallagher. And a crazy event there, and he turned over for the Spartans, and a big play for that Newark defense.
Artis running behind a lead blocker, just got low cut there, and as he was going to the ground, another defender came underneath and knocked the ball free. So good defense there by Newark, swarming, which they did not do as much of in the first half, and then very opportunistic there to recover the fumble.
So Newark offense back out on the field, and starting where they began that last drive to open up the second half deep in their own territory. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. A bunch trips to the right look. Now some motion as Ellerby will head to the other side. Wright will fake it. Now they're going to throw to Ellerby out of the backfield, and he overshot Ellerby, his intended target there. Second down upcoming.
They've been working Ellerby out on the fringes of the offense and actually of the defense as well. They're trying to get him on either a bubble or a swing. They just haven't been able to complete it. They're doing a nice job of trying to find some creative ways to get Ellerby the ball in space where he can then get a one-on-one matchup that he likes. But unfortunately, Wright has just not been able to complete that pass.
9:24 remaining, third quarter, 28-6. Spartans still on top. 2nd and 10 upcoming from their own 9 for the Yellow Jackets. This time they'll have trips to the top of your screen. Right back in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand it straight up the middle to Dejan White. And absolutely nowhere to run. Good play that time by number 50 in gray. And that's Evan Pickering in on the stop.
Well, nice job there by St. Mark's defense to close up the gap very quickly. When you have those big linemen up front, they're employing a 4-man front, O'Donohue, Highland, and Watson in particular. They do a nice job of occupying at least one, if not 1.5 blockers, 1.5 gaps. That allows those linebackers to work side to side laterally and making plays at the point of attack.
Highland will get a breather here for the Spartans on 3rd and 8. Wright going to play action, looking for somewhere to go. Has his man Towson out of the backfield and made the catch at the 11, but right on the sideline, and he'll fall down there. So 4th down and long upcoming for Newark.
St. Mark's dials up some pressure there, Nick. They brought an inside blitz. Was well read, and the call was perfect. The screen out to the into the boundary. Unfortunately, the outside linebacker and corner were not fooled and run to the ball, and now another punting situation for Elko and Newark.
Again, been one of the struggles has the punt team been for Newark. A couple of the snaps been over Elko's head, and St. Mark's getting some good pressure there as well. We'll see how this punt unfolds for the Yellow Jackets. 8:36 remaining in the third quarter. Back to receive is number 33, Taj Johnson. That ball skipped to him again. He's going to quickly get it off, and it's going to take a hop at the 15 and roll close to the 30-yard line to the 27. And, Coach, once again, the Spartans are going to come out with fantastic field position after a punt by Newark.
Well, Elko's getting tested back there with low snaps, high snaps, side snaps. That was a miraculous, but he almost made the mistake of going to his knees to recover it, which would have given St. Mark's the ball at the inside the 5-yard line. But Elko did a nice job, got up, rolled out quickly like a rugby kicker, and kicked it across his body. I think any positive yardage there would be a plus. Obviously, that's one of the things that Newark has to clean up are these special teams.
And the Spartans got it 1st and 10 from the Newark 29. That's kind of been where they've started the last few drives, deep into Newark territory. And once again, they'll go in the I formation. Artis is the tailback, Hannock the upback. As Padalano will turn, straight give to Artis up the left side. And picks up a few there on 1st down.
Old-fashioned power. They pull the guard. They block down on the tight end side of Donahue in particular. They run Artis behind the fullback, Hanisch. It's a great design. It's a play that's been around for a long time in I formations. Joey Wright has run it many, many times as an offensive coordinator and as a quarterback. That time, Newark did a pretty good job of getting people at the point of attack to make the tackle on Artis, who is a good runner. Looking to break one here if he can pop one to the outside.
I formation again. Jabri White one-on-one at the bottom of your screen. We'll see if they take a shot there. This time they'll turn and give power to the right side, and that's Artis. He's got speed, and he's into the end zone untouched from 25 yards out.
That was the one I was waiting for, and if we had replay, I would show you the block by Luke Watson, the left tackle. What an outstanding pull. The end comes up the field. He covers him up, a huge gaping hole available for Artis. I was waiting for him to spring one. That's what good blocking does. A massive hole. Artis takes advantage of it.
2nd touchdown of the night, 6th touchdown on the season for Donovan Artis. That time turned on the Jets as soon as he saw that hole. Great blocking by the offensive line, and he went untouched. That snap's going to be bobbled. Now has to make a play, unable to do so. And a good job on special teams, this time by Newark on the field goal block team.
Snap was just a little high, but probably not high enough not to be handled. But unfortunately, all you can do then as the holder is try to roll out. And remember, in high school, unlike other levels, there is going to be no penalty. So if nothing else, there is a holder. You just try to throw the ball and hope that you've made your fire call and get somebody in the end zone, because even if it's intercepted or they run it, the fumble back, it does not result in any points. So it is kind of the offensive benefit there to just take a chance.
34-6 your score. The first extra point attempt that's unsuccessful for the Spartans here tonight. And they still lead by 28, 7:40 remaining here in the third quarter. And again, Coach, we talked about it, just great starting field position for the Spartans there, and the offense able to take advantage.
Well, they have been the beneficiary and sometimes the recipient, meaning they've set it up themselves with good aggressive defense, good rush on the punter. A lot of it's really become the unfortunate long snaps on the punts, but they have taken advantage of it, and that's what good teams do. If they're dealt a good hand, they play it out. I like the burst there by Artis. That was the first time he's really been able to open up and accelerate.
So Shannon said to kick this one away. It's back and into the hands of Ellerby, who's had some dangerous returns. We'll see what he does with this one. Trying to bounce it outside, get to the sideline, but great containment by the Spartans kickoff team. And Newark will begin this drive a little past their own 30.
Ellerby's got to be a bright spot for Jody Russell. He's a good, tough runner. He's caught the ball well. He's made some tackles defensively. Now, what I like about him is he has nice vision. He knows when to bounce to the outside and when not to. And he's made some big plays, and I think he's part of that bright future that Newark High School has.
Back to the Newark Yellow Jacket offense. They'll have it trailing 34-6, 7:32 remaining. They'll have it at their own 27-yard line to begin this drive, their second of the second half.
And let's not forget, we talk about Ellerby, only a sophomore. Only mentioned 6 seniors on the roster total.
Right, takes the snap, now going to drop back, setting up a screen to Dejan White, who makes the catch at the 30. Able to keep his feet moving until about the 37-yard line. So a good pickup on first down there for the Yellow Jackets.
Dejan White, another one of those sophomores that Jody Russell is going to be able to develop over the next couple of years. Did a nice job there of setting himself up on the screen. A good call there to anticipate that St. Mark's was geared up. They were going to bring some pressure, which they've been doing. Brian offers them in, invites them in, and they overrush and then drops the ball off. Nice call there by the offensive staff.
Picks up 8 on first down, 2nd and 2. Double slot now for Damian Wright. As he'll take the snap, play action to Dejan White, and then he's wrapped up in the backfield. That's going to be a sack right that time for number 41, John O'Donoghue, another sophomore. And, Coach, you talked about him a little bit earlier, a big play for number 41.
I like O'Donoghue a lot. He's a very solid player, kind of gets maybe under the radar to a Luke Watson and a Jabri White and others, the quarterback, but he playing that tight end position, playing that defensive end position. He's a very steady performer. He's young. He's only going to get better. He's got nice hands on offense and does a good job of blocking, but that time did a great job from his left end position of playing with leverage, setting the edge, and making the tackle.
Sets up another 3rd and long for this Newark offense as they'll go a tight double slot here with Wright in the shotgun once more. He'll take the snap. Here comes the pressure. They're going to fire it off. Has his man out wide. That's Jaden Smith, I believe. And he's got nowhere to run. Great job by the secondary of the Spartans to wrap him up as soon as he caught the football.
And a really nice play by a really fine athlete on St. Mark's, Luke DeKay. Tight end at times, outside linebacker. He runs to the ball. Had an opportunity to coach him. A very intelligent player, plays extremely hard, diagnoses and understands what offenses are trying to do, and a really nice open field tackle.
And now once more we'll see the Newark Yellow Jacket punt team on 4th and 7. Clock ticking at 5:18 here in third quarter action between the Yellow Jackets and Spartans. And back to receive will be number 33, Taj Johnson. And we'll see if Elko can get this one off clean. And no, that one's going to be bounced right through his legs, and that's going to roll to the goal line. He's going to scoop it up. He lost it one more time, and the Spartans are going to hop on it at the 8-yard line. And once more, St. Mark's with a big play on special teams. That offense starting at the 8-yard line. Fantastic field position for the Spartans once more.
St. Mark's has done a really nice job of pressuring the punter. They've been rushing people off the edge, so if they do get a bad snap, they've got people there. They're not being conservative. Ron Smith, the special teams coach, an aggressive play caller there. They've been the beneficiary of some tremendous field position due to the irregularity of the Newark kicking game.
Clock stop now, just under 5 minutes. We'll get that Spartan offense back out there for 1st and goal. Again, special teams has been fantastic for the Spartans. The kickoff team forcing a fumble earlier in the game, and then the punt return team fantastic in terms of getting pressure on the punter Elko and forcing some mistakes there. And now we'll get the Spartan offense once more as they'll be in the I formation, Padalano under center, as he'll turn and give to Artis up the middle. He's wrapped up and brought down after a few-yard gain.
Really nice block there by the veteran center, Devin Smith, who did a nice job of turning away the backside defensive tackle, walling him off. This is a very well-coached line. Jimmy Petroselli, the offensive line coach, and others have done a nice job of molding this group, and I think they're going to turn out to be one of the best offensive lines in the state.
2nd down and 7 for St. Mark's, as they actually can get another 1st down. By the looks of it, they'll turn, hand off up the middle again, trying to punch it in this time for the Spartans. It was number 23 on the carry, his first carry of the night for Luke Najera.
Luke Najera Jr. did a nice job there with his ball security. Not much to go with. They blocked down with O'Donohue and Watson on the left side, just running an old-fashioned power play up in that outside C gap. But well, defense by Newark, who are now at least getting into a rhythm defensively, getting people in the gaps, getting a little bit of penetration, not to allow this run game to take advantage of this marvelous field position.
New up back for the Spartans will be Daniel Egan, and behind him is Najera. Padalano under center will turn and give up the middle to Najera. He's able to break a tackle. Now he's going to try to bounce it outside, but great containment there by Jaden Smith, and the ball comes out late. And I believe it'll head out of play. Spartans catch a break that time.
They run the counter tray. That's where they pull the backside guard and tackle through the front side. They block down on the front side. Newark did a great job there of inserting the linebacker to force the play to bounce outside, nowhere to go. And then you play into Newark's strengths. At that point, they have great speed and athleticism. They run to the ball extremely well.
So now we'll get our first look at the field goal unit for the Spartans here. Jeremy Shannon will trot out onto the field. Looking at about a 33-yarder. And we'll see if the Spartans can convert. Snap, hold, kick is up. And that's no good, I believe. Maybe just right, Coach. What'd you see on that field goal attempt?
Well, the snap was just a little low, but the hold got down, and I think Shannon just wasn't able to get his plant foot exactly where he wanted it. Weight was slightly back, and when that happens, usually the ball is pushed to the right. A little fade there, almost Ryder Cup-ish.
There we go, incorporating the Ryder Cup into today's broadcast. Again, getting underway this week.
I did not see the final score, though. I heard we were in pretty good shape. We were up 5-1 through the first day with 2 matches out on the course when I arrived over here to see you.
Got some Ryder Cup info, get some Delaware High School football info, all right here on Delaware Live Sports. Again, Nick Alessandrini joined by the coach Bill Harmon. Pat Garian is here at the Graveyard. As Newark's offense set to take back over here, looking to create some rhythm. Wright just going to launch this one straight up in the air. Ellerby goes back to get it, and he makes the catch at the 42-yard line. Taj Johnson looking for the push-off, won't get the call there.
Well, Taj Johnson, whether there was contact or not, was down on the ground. Highland had tremendous pressure, and the quarterback, Damian Wright, had to throw that ball so high because he had to get it over Highland's outstretched arms. Had Johnson not fallen, I think he might have been able to at least knock it down, if not intercept it. But a big-time play there, taking some shots down the field is Newark, and they need to be aggressive here.
Again, trailing 34-6, looking to rebound after that tough loss last week to Concord and open up this one with some hard-fought battle as this was early on. And Newark, just a few plays didn't go their way, and St. Mark's offense has been pretty good tonight as Wright takes the snap, going to launch back, takes a hit, going to launch it up deep, and that ball's going to be almost intercepted out of the hands of the deep safety. I believe for St. Mark's, that was Wesley Millman.
You're exactly right, Nick. Wesley Millman working from his right safety position over the top. Now, as a safety, you've always got to be very careful if you undercut not to tip the ball up in the air. That's what happened. It could have resulted in a completion, but was just knocked out of the outstretched arms of the waiting receiver. Again, Highland with some excellent pressure to force that throw to come out of Bryant's hands very early on.
Again, Aiden Lehane and Phillip Johnston, the two quarterbacks warming up on the sideline. We'll see if we get a chance to see Chase Padalano again here tonight. But the Newark offense, 2nd and 10, double slot for Wright, who has Dejon White behind him. They'll play action. Now Wright's a designed run for him, and again, nowhere to go. A late flag onto the field here on 2nd down, but a good job by the St. Mark's defense.
Joey Wright and Mark Vanderkoven, the defensive coordinator, starting to get into their bench. And this is very important at this juncture of the season to get some of these second-line players a lot of quality minutes against a worthy opponent. These guys might have to play in the future. You already documented 3 starters who are out for St. Mark's, so that depth is getting better and better. But when they get in for a quarter and a half or so in a varsity game, when it's meaningful, I think that really pays off dividends later on in the season if you get an injury or somebody gets fatigued and you've built up your depth.
And Coach Wright talked about that with us earlier in the week. He said it's next man up mentality. They're dealing with a few injuries in that Woodbridge game last week and a few guys out here tonight that we highlighted earlier in the broadcast. And they've looked pretty good here with the next man up, 34-6. Again, St. Mark's, one of those top 5 ranked programs in our new Class 2.
And they are very worthy of that. And what I like is that means the coaching staff is really working hard, developing players during practice who aren't necessarily their starters. A sign of a great program.
This time the snap on the ground. Once again, Towson tries to get on it for Newark. He's able to scoop it up, but not until after a big loss, as the Spartan defense was all over him. First to get there, number 59 in gray for the Spartans.
This has got to be very frustrating for the offensive staff. They've had some miscues, some mishandles, some fumbles. Obviously, the punt game has bothered the special team side, but when you make a couple big plays and then you get going the wrong way with a penalty or a bad snap when you're back in the gun, it just destroys all your rhythm and sometimes your confidence.
Devin Smith, 3-year starter at center, big member of the offensive line, able to get in there on that play defensively. 3rd and very long for Newark, 35. They're going to drop it off to Jaden Smith and let him try to make a play with the ball in his hands. Picks up some decent yardage there on 3rd down, but not quite enough. And 4th down upcoming for the Yellow Jackets as we tick down 3rd quarter action.
But I like the call. It's a quick throw out into the left flat. A nice run after the catch, some good downfield blocking. You get a positive play, you get a little bit more confidence. That's what you've got to do with a young program like this. It's hard to stack great play or after good play after good play when you're struggling either to get coordinated between the center and the quarterback snap or whether you're getting big penalties at the wrong moment.
And now we'll get another look at Elko and that punt unit for the Newark Yellow Jackets. This one into the hands of Elko and going to have the first clean punt he's had in some time, as that one's up into the hands of Johnson, and he muffed it. Great hit in the back end by Newark, as that was a nice play by number 23 in white, Jahir Williams-Boyd. The ball came loose, but unable to force the turnover.
It was actually a smart play by Johnson. Yes, he muffed it. That was an end-over-end kick. You're used to catching spirals in practice. Elko intentionally kicks it almost like you see a rugby, an Australian kicker, kick it in pro football, end-over-end. Sometimes they are harder to catch than you would expect. That got into his pads, it bounced up. But as the ball went beyond him, instead of trying to wiggle out himself, he relied on a teammate to recover it, and he actually held up the would-be fumble recover, and that resulted in St. Mark's being able to maintain possession. So a smart play by Taj Johnson after a mistake, making up with it with a smart play.
Heads-up play there. Now just 8 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. St. Mark's 34, Newark 6. As the St. Mark's offense back out onto the field, we'll see if we have any changes, but for the moment it looks as if, though, Chase Padalano back out at quarterback for the Spartans. He'll turn and straight give up the middle. I believe that's Taj Johnson now as the tailback, as he's wrapped up after a gain of about 1 or 2. He's brought down by number 50, Samir Rollins.
Well, Samir Rollins has made some plays. He works down the line of scrimmage using his hand action. He's got good leverage and good hip mobility. This is a young player that has really shown up well tonight.
And that'll do it for 3rd quarter action, a 34-6 ball game. We're heading to the 4th. St. Mark's over the Yellow Jackets at Newark. We're going to take a short break when we come back right here on Delaware Live Sports.
High Five Hospitality was founded in 2004 when 3 guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise concept to Delaware. They now operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings, 6 locations throughout Delaware, and 2 locations in Maryland. B-Dubs has weekly and game day specials on their delicious food and beverages. Stop in one of their convenient locations today. The Stone Balloon Ale House features a unique blend of crafted food and an array of spirits, all flavored with a dash of nostalgia. Our culinary mantra is comfort food playfully reimagined, and we prepare seasonal favorites that strive to please the palate and resurface a memory. Limestone Barbecue, from our mouth-watering Texas-style brisket, fall-off-the-bone chicken, and St. Louis ribs. Southern-style sides, mac and cheese, baked beans, cornbread, sweet tea, and our homemade pickles. Be prepared as your bread will be your napkin. Yup, we are that kind of barbecue. Expectation. You'll have a tough time choosing between our exclusive dishes to help get you through the day.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison Jr. alongside Bill Harmon, Pat Garianis, Mike Lang up top of the press box. St. Mark's look impressive here in the rebound after that tough loss to Woodbridge. They lead Newark 34-6 here tonight at home. And a beautiful Friday night for football here at the Graveyard.
Been very impressed with the offensive structure of St. Mark's tonight. They've changed formations often. They've used some different running backs. Their schemes are solid. They have downfield threat. The quarterback, Chase Panalano, I think has a big-time upside. He's going to only get better under Joey Wright. But the key to this team is that both their offensive and defensive lines dominate play. They are really tough to deal with. They're going to be a playoff team if things go well for them and they stay healthy.
Ellerby flies up, made the play there. I believe there's a flag on the play as well. But Ellerby flying up from his secondary spot and making another big tackle on defense. But this one going to go against the Spartans, and it'll back them up. We'll wait to see what the call is. Temperature starting to dip down here in Wilmington at St. Mark's High School. Again, a nice crowd on hand here tonight. And St. Mark's trying to get another victory here at home. They lead 34-6. And Coach, that offense has been pretty good so far tonight. Do you like to see what you see out of St. Mark's?
Absolutely. They've been able to expand the field horizontally. They've been able to run the ball up inside, especially with that guard trap. Their quarterback has been extremely accurate. They have 2 big downfield threats in Burns and Jabri White. This is an offense that has a lot of good things going for it and going to be hard to deal with as we go down the road and they continue to improve.
And going to be a tough year for that Class 2, or District 2, if you will. And this one going to go against Newark. Encroachment lined up a little bit too far in the neutral zone there. The Yellow Jackets clock will wind 11:15. Still a 34-6 lead for the Spartans, and Chase Panalano still under center for St. Mark's. But that class, Coach, they got a lot of talented teams. Woodbridge, who we'll check on in a little bit. St. Mark's in there. DMA, who's had a great start to their season. And, of course, Howard and Archmere.
And I go to sleep on those 2 teams. They are terrific. I've seen them both on tape. They are 2 of the best teams in the state, and I mean that regardless of division.
Absolutely could not agree with you more, as that carry was in the hands of Luke Najera, who seems to be the starting tailback now, as Donovan Artis will trot back onto the field. And then you talked about some substitutions here for the Spartans, and Howard and Archmere, I believe, will be meeting tomorrow.
Yes, they are. 11 a.m. at Archmere's facility over there, the Jerry Ambrosia Field, who used to be the outstanding head coach, unfortunately passed away a few years ago, a dear friend of mine, and we miss him all the time, but a great commemoration with his name on the field. Tough place to play over there at Archmere. They've got an outstanding team. Chris Albero, the quarterback, is a really tough guy.
Yeah, they've got a great program. Here's Chase Panalano. Flows, finds his man Hannick at the 40. Here comes the speed. He's pushed out of bounds at the 50. Knocking him out was Jasir Williams-Boyd, but another new set of downs upcoming on the first down play for St. Mark's.
Hannick has impressed me tonight. He's been able to run the ball up inside on the guard trap. He's been very good blitzing from his inside linebacker position. He's a tough guy. That time they threw a little bootleg to the fullback out on the flat. He's wide open. What I liked about him was he finished that run. He did not want to go out of bounds. He was attacking the tackler as he came on him. A tough guy is Hannick, and only a junior, going to continue to improve.
Under 10 minutes now in our fourth quarter. St. Mark's continuing to look impressive, 34-6 over Newark. They'll take a timeout here, and that gives us a chance to check in with some of these scores around the state. And we talked about Woodbridge. They owned that fourth quarter. As we talked about earlier, they were down 8-6 heading into that fourth quarter. They now lead 20-8 with 11:50 remaining. They put on a few touchdowns there in the fourth already. Kenny Newton for 24-yard, the latest score, 2-point run failed. But they are up 20-8 after trailing 8-6 in that fourth quarter.
Marvin Dooley's got himself a great job downstate after Jed Bell had moved on into an administrative role in one of the neighboring schools, who did a great job at Woodbridge after replacing Ed Manlove. But Marvin Dooley has got some outstanding players. They've got a great tradition and history down there. They've got athletes who can fly. They make big plays, and they are a team that knows how to win, and that is, as we all know, so important and so hard to get to, especially in high school football.
Well, we've heard they love the fourth quarter down there. That's kind of a mentality change for them. When that fourth quarter comes, they really turn on the Jets. They've done it all year long, and no difference tonight as they had the lead 20-8. We'll see if they can hold on in a big matchup with Sussex Tech downstate. But back to the game at hand here, 34-6. Out of the timeout, a new quarterback in for the Spartans. It'll be number 12, Philip Johnston, the junior. And they'll turn and give straight up the middle here, and he's got some room to run. That's Daniel Egan before he's pushed out of bounds at around the 33-yard line, and a new set of downs once again for St. Mark's, and some of these substitutions they're making continuing to look impressive offensively.
And a new offensive line. That was a quick hitter up the middle. That was probably inside zone. I didn't see the guard pull, but a nice job by Jimmy Petroselli, the offensive line coach, coordinating this second unit to get a great block in their first opportunity here in the fourth quarter to play together.
Johnson now back under center once more. He'll turn once again up back. It's Egan on the carry. Gets close to the 30 before he's brought down at around the 29 of another good gain on first down.
Egan's another one of these young running backs that St. Mark's has developed. Ronnie Smith, who's the special teams coach, is also the running back coach, does a great job. One thing they really emphasize is ball security. As Egan hit the hole, he was doubling it up. That was just a quick hitter inside zone. This second line doing a nice job of getting off the ball, but I really like the way Egan finished the run there. Low pads and excellent running feet.
9-12 remaining here in fourth quarter action. Johnson back under center, and they'll once again be I formation. Slot to the left. They'll turn, give up the middle. Not a lot of running room that time for Luke Najera. Brings up third and about 5.
Well, they wanted to run outside stretch zone there, and Najera realized that the hole was closing off to the outside. He cuts back inside. Not a lot of room. That's a credit to Newark's defensive line and linebackers to work down the line of scrimmage and take away the cutback opportunity.
Checking in on Middletown and Appoquinimink. Middletown, Josh Robertson scoring for them on a 57-yard touchdown run. Second of the day, 28-7, Middletown over Appo. Slot to the left once more. Johnson will turn. It gives straight up the middle. Nowhere to run. Jaden Smith in there on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, you talk about Middletown and you talk about a program. Coach Blum done a terrific job down there after taking over from Mark Del Percio, who's now coaching high school football down in the state of Texas. That program just continues to churn out win after win, good player after good player. They are deep and they are explosively fast. They can turn a 2-yard run into a 72-yard run literally in seconds. And that's always the problem in dealing with Middletown, is the fact that they can make a big play at any moment, and their defense is tenacious. Get a chance to be on TV next week with ESPN coming out. It's great for their program and for the state.
Yeah, St. Joe's Prep coming to town. They'll be at Middletown Cavalier Stadium. Handoff to the up back on 4th and about 1. They're going to have plenty of yards for the first down. He's going to carry some Yellow Jacket defenders an extra 5 yards. And St. Mark's looking at another set of downs at the Newark 20, 7:20 and ticking.
Well, a really nice job there by DeAngelis to keep his feet moving. Just a big-bodied young man driving his feet. The offensive line continued to block. You've got to love that as an offensive line coach when your front 5 work that coordinated, take their steps properly, and then finish off blocks.
First and 10 for the Spartans now And that Spartan offense led by number 12, the junior Philip Johnston. Here late in the fourth quarter and a 34-6 lead for St. Mark's. This time they'll go I formation once again. Hand straight up the middle. And 5 more yards on the ground for the Spartans as we'll check back in now with Red Lion and Caravel. And Coach, at the half, Red Lion led 9-0. Caravel led 9-0. And they had not allowed a first down the entire half, was that Caravel defense. So 9-0, not giving up a first down to Red Lion. But the Caravel offense struggling here. They have 3 turnovers in that first half. So the defense, though, showing up for Caravel, and they still own a 9-0 lead.
The Caravel defense is really well coached. They run to the football well. They've got some big bodies up front that occupy a lot of space, but they have excellent speed at the linebacker and the second level and the back end as well.
Johnson will turn, hand up the middle again here. And nowhere to run. Clock continues to turn. As again, that handoff was to Dante DeAngelis, the senior running back, getting in there with 5:44 to go.
This is an important juncture for St. Mark's. They get an opportunity now to rest their starters. To the best of my knowledge, they've gotten out of the game fairly injury-free. They will work on those other players next week to get them back. They've got Conrad at home next week and then a big matchup over at Archmere in 2 weeks. So those are 2 important games for them. They need to get a little healthier up front, but they are going to be really tough to deal with because of the offense. Padalano's playing well, and their defense and their fronts.
Straight handoff one more time here on third down. They needed 7. They'll get 3 or 4. And now that'll set up 4th down for St. Mark's here. Clock continues to run. Under 5 minutes we go, and a 34-6 lead for the Spartans.
And Newark next week gets Delcastle at home. That'll be an opponent I think they'll match up well with. That'll be an interesting opportunity for them. But this Newark team should not be that discouraged. They had some big plays. They had some penalties that called back big plays. They had a fumble after a big kickoff return. I like the way the team has hung in there. They've continued to play hard. Their quarterback, the receiver, Smith, Ellerby's been very impressive. Rollins on defense. So they've got some really good pieces to work with, and they're only going to get better. This is an extremely young team that's improving every time they play.
Dante DeAngelis, again, the up back gets the carry there on 4th down. It'll not be enough for a first down, so the Newark defense forces the turnover. The offense coming back out on the field for the Yellow Jackets. 4:19, clock is stopped, and still 34-6 lead for the Spartans here. Coach at home at the Graveyard. Just got word, Sussex Tech forcing a fumble. They return it. They're in scoring position now, trailing Woodbridge 20-8. We'll see if they can punch it in and make that one a little bit closer as that game coming down to the wire downstate.
Well, Joey Wright here has got to be very happy. He gets his team out healthy. They played well. The front line was really tough offensively, opened up a lot of holes. His young quarterback continues to evolve and mature, was very accurate tonight. He's got some deep threats with Burns and White. They can work underneath with their tight ends. I was very impressed with O'Donohue tonight blocking. I think he's going to be a really fine player.
White lost the snap again that time, in and out of his fingertips, able to corral it like he's done most of the night and then fire high across the middle, looking for his number 1 guy, Jaden Smith, just over his head, out of his reach. So 2nd down upcoming for the Yellow Jackets. Clock stopped now at 4:12.
And any time, going back to St. Mark's, anytime you play consistently tough defense, you run to the football well, you've got big people up front that occupy space, linebackers that can scrape side to side, and you've got good special teams, you're just always going to be consistent in every game. Their quarterback play is getting better. I think this is a team that's going to have a bright future in Division II and is going to be around in the playoffs.
This time they'll toss it to Ellerby and they'll put right under center. Has to spend a lot of time under center tonight, was on that play, and that toss going to go for a gain of about 4, setting up 3rd and 6. We tick under 4 minutes.
And Jody Russell will get back to the drawing table. They'll definitely need to work on their punt. That was a big problem tonight. He gave St. Mark's some great field position, which they're good enough to take advantage of. I thought some of their return game in the special teams was excellent. They've got a good quarterback. If they can protect him a little bit better and maybe develop some belly read with him to take some pressure off himself, maybe some bootlegs. But they've got something to work with. They've got a lot of young players who play big minutes for them and in important positions.
Wright dropping back to throw, looking across the middle. His intended target was number 23, Jasir Williams-Boyd. That pass falls short. And now 4th and 6 upcoming once again for the Yellow Jackets. An update from Woodbridge. Sussex Tech scores the touchdown. Eric Reinecker punches it in from 5 yards out. The PAT would get blocked. It's now 20-14 and 8 minutes remaining in that one.
Well, a lot of time downstate. Sussex Tech obviously improving from week to week. They started off a little slowly, but this is a great effort against Woodbridge.
And Elko going to get off another punt here tonight. Has about 6 of them. That one's going to take a hop at the 48. St. Mark's going to let it roll. And it's going to roll to about the St. Mark's 43-yard line. Clock 3:06 remaining, and the Spartans now going to just try to run some clock and head home healthy, as you mentioned, Coach, earlier in the game. 34-6, nice lead for the Spartans at home, and they came out, did what they needed to do. Again, down a few guys, as we talked about earlier. But offense showed up, defense looked good, and Coach Wright and the Spartans on their way to another victory.
Absolutely, and when you get this opportunity to play these second-level players, I think as a coach you've got to really feel good. You reward guys that are part of your scout team or your look group. They need to get some minutes to improve. They're getting them tonight, and they've played very well. They've executed well, which is a sign of a program that has coaching throughout. They're not just coaching up the ones. They give their twos an opportunity, and that's how you develop a program that Joey Wright is clearly not in the middle of. He's doing a terrific job, I believe, in his 4th year here at St. Mark's.
St. Mark's offense back out on the field, again trying to run out the final 3 minutes of clock. They hand it up the middle. I believe that's Najera. Give him a yard or two. Clock continues to run, and now we'll update you on Caravel. It's still 9-0, 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Red Lion has this drive to start at their own 23, so that Caravel defense still working on that shutout. Again, no first downs for Red Lion in that entire first half, and they'll see if they can hold them in the second half. Caravel over Red Lion 9-0 as it stands right now.
And Caravel also has a really good ball control offense. Big-time running back, quarterback's very solid. They've got an excellent short passing game, but when it gets down to it, they're going to pound away with their fullback, who is very difficult to tackle.
St. Mark's, again, this time will turn a handoff up the middle, a little bit of daylight for Najera. Or excuse me, that's going to be Hurst on the carry. This time, number 21 checks in as the tailback. 2 minutes to go, and 3rd and about 6.
These backup running backs for St. Mark's have been impressive. Egan, Hurst, and others. DeAngelis doing a nice job there of hitting holes, working their leg action. That's the development of these players. Ron Smith, the running back coach, really stresses, as I mentioned earlier, ball control, ball security, but also really good leg action. And these young men run hard and try to finish their runs.
DeAngelis, the up back, and Hurst, the tailback here once again on 3rd and 6 for the Spartans, as Johnston again under center at quarterback here in the 4th quarter. As St. Mark's trying to run this clock out, he's going to drop straight back to throw. Looking to fire, one-on-one coverage. This ball tipped up in the air and then caught at the 45-yard line. There's that tip drill you mentioned earlier, Coach. This time it works in favor of the Spartans in a big-time play, and a throw by Johnston and a nice catch from the Spartans. That's number 85, as we have this roster stuck in front of me.
I'm still always surprised that people use a tip drill, because that's about the last thing you want to do. You want to train your players either to catch the ball or knock it down, because when you tip it up, usually only a bad thing's going to happen, especially when there's a opponent behind you.
Well, that's going to be Johnston's first completion of the night on his first passing attempt. He's going to have 100% completion percentage, potentially, as we wind down here.
Rating,
Perfect
Nick,
quarterback rating.
158.3.
That's St. Mark's lining back up here, and they'll hand it off to the up back DeAngelis with 40 seconds, and that could potentially be the last play of the game. Coach, just 5 football games tonight starting at 7 o'clock. Seems like a record low here in the state of Delaware, but got some good ones, and the Spartans, one of them, going to get a victory here tonight.
Well, I understand there is, unfortunately, an official shortage throughout the state. That's what had the St. George's Sally's game starting at 4 o'clock. You would have thought that would have been a big prime time,
absolutely.
7 o'clock, 7:30 game. These guys do a great job. They're really the unsung story of high school football. If you don't have officials, you don't have a game. And these guys work very hard. Some of them are now working 2, maybe 3 games in a day. And that's an awful lot to ask, and I know the plea is let's get some young people involved as officials, work them up, but the officials are really doing an outstanding job of managing what's been a really difficult situation, just not enough people to go around for all the competition.
Again, if you want to be a referee, there are ways to sign up. We could use you. Make sure you check out for that on DIAA website. But that'll do it here from the Graveyard. St. Mark's gets the victory 34-6. They look impressive here tonight, and a tough night for the visiting Yellow Jackets. Artist, though, he had 2 touchdowns on the ground for St. Mark's. Taj Johnson scored. Jabri White went up and caught a touchdown pass. And, of course, Jack Burns breaking off a 45-yarder on the screen as well. St. Mark's offense looked impressive. Ellerby had the only touchdown on the ground for Newark, and the Spartans get the victory 34-6. Coach, put you on the spot here as we wind down the broadcast. If you had to pick a player of the game, who you going with here tonight's match?
I'm going to go with that young sophomore quarterback, Chase Panalano. I thought he was excellent. He was on target all night. He made some plays with his feet. I'm very impressed with his poise, his throwing platform. He's got excellent arm talent. Let's go with him tonight. A lot of fun working with you guys again, Nick. An outstanding performance here by St. Mark's. But you Newark fans should not be disappointed. This team is young. They're going to get better throughout the season, and you have a lot of upside in the future.
Absolutely. Again, St. Mark's gets the victory over Newark 34-6. For Nick Allison, Drini, the coach Bill Harmon, Pat Garianis, and Mike Lang, we will see you tomorrow at Sally's and Appo Soccer coming at you right here on Delaware Live Sports. We'll see you there.